Bumble Kitty Store Sparkler.
Chat room, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are all doing really good. It's good to see you. Bumble Kitty Store, thank you so much for resubbing. I appreciate it. Also for just like the general support everybody showed in Discord. I don't look cute. Like, I've had a bad day. I have done a little crying. I've been real stressed out. I'm sorry that I look the way I do, essentially. And I'm sorry that I'm always apologizing for how I look and not doing anything about it. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry in general. As a person, I'm sorry. But so just to catch everybody up really quick on what happened today. There was a game, a really good game that we covered like a year ago, maybe a little bit more. It's called Domina. It's a really good game. Game is literal trash. No, it's such a good game. It really is a good game. The dev though is trash in my opinion. Like, I don't want to like promote any kind of, I didn't know that. Oh, that's so icky. What a nucky dude. But okay, just really quick. I just want to get through this. I'm just going to get through explaining what happened. I do not want any of you to go to Twitter and start engaging with this dev. Please don't. Like, I mean, I'm not your dad and I can't stop you from doing that. But if I find that anybody's harassing this guy, I'm going to ban you. Harassing even bad guys still makes you a harasser, and we don't accept harassers in here. Okay. But, the guy who made the game Domina, posted something that sounded like he was maybe a little bit confused about, a racist talking point. Right? A racial talking point, I guess. If I just go slap him, can I get a trophy? Okay, stop. Anyway, okay, I just need to ignore chat and get this out because you guys are gonna make me fucking laugh and shit, and this is a serious thing. But I tried to answer with understanding and kindness and patience, like was done for me when I was being explained my white privilege and like white fragility and stuff like that. I was trying to do the same thing for him. It turns out this guy is actually just a white supremacist, and all of his little followers are too. And it quickly devolved into them talking about me and Josiah's sex life on Twitter. And then I got banned. And then I got banned from Twitter. It has nothing actually to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It is because I responded to a Will Smith joke that ContraPoints tweeted saying that I was going to slap the shit out of her or whatever. Anyway, I've appealed it. So it has nothing to do with that, thank goodness. But I just am, I'm feeling unsafe on Twitter to post that I'm going live because I really don't want to attract a bunch of those people. You're just coming in here to harass me, harass you guys, all of that other stuff. Like, they're gross. They're really gross people. Oh no, you missed all the tea. It's so, like, totally just, like, go back and, like, basically a game dev I thought was confused a little bit about a racial talking point, right? Like a racist, like definitely was a white supremacist talking point, saying that it's, I don't know, it had something to do with the fucking Twitter slap, the Oscar slap, the Chris Rock slap, the fucking Will Smith slap, whatever. And I took it as an opportunity to, like, I was like, you know what? I have the patience for this today. I can talk a fragile white guy through his white fragility. But it turns out he wasn't confused. He's just, like, actually a white supremacist. And it super it got all tangled up super super quick until he started like making fun of me and Josiah's sex life. Like it's disgusting and gross and it's all there on Twitter. I can't go be a part of my own Twitter anymore because I'm locked out for making a joke at ContraPoints that I was going to slap her. It was definitely a joke and everybody knew, like it was starting to get likes and shit. Anyway, he dragged the Hypnospace Outlaw dev into it, and Hypnospace Outlaw is my GOAT game. It's literally the perfect game. I was so upset. But anyway, now I just for a while at least I am not going to feel very comfortable posting when I'm going live on Twitter. So I'm going to have to rely on you guys to find other avenues to know when I'm live and to maybe, if you wouldn't mind, tweeting out my stream for me. Dominant Game Dev slips anti-mask rant into patch notes. Yeah. He's just like a far right-wing conspiracy theorist. Thank you, Axmat. I feel like I look really gross. I've been just like stressed out and a little bit crying all day. I don't know. I'm not feeling particularly hot. I've lost a lot of faith in humanity today. Except for the Hypnospace Outlaw dev, I messaged him and I was just like, I'm so sorry. I would never bring crazy to your doorstep. And he was like, so sweet to me. Now you look cute and weirdly young. Thanks. I appreciate you. That's really nice. I do not feel it. Want to know when the stream is live? Click that link and join. Yes, please join the Discord. I need you to just rely on Discord to know when I'm live because, again, I don't want anybody. Thank you so much, Lawrence. Thank you. It has been a long, rough day.
Lawrence Delama Sparkler.
On the internet.
Sorry, it's been a rough day on the internet.
You're right. Like, it's been tough. It's been really hard, but it's okay. We're not going to let white supremacists rule our day. And I lost a lot of followers on Twitter today too because of all of this, and it sucks. But when the choice comes down to being popular and racist or unfollowed and not racist, I'm going to choose not popular and not racist. All the time, like each time, every single time without even hesitation or thinking about it. Like 100% of the time, I'm choosing that one. Just golly. I feel so gross. I saw all this stuff on Twitter and the game people are sus AF. Yeah, but the original tweet they were commenting on just like for real confuses me. I didn't see how the situation turned into a race thing. The thing about it is that people are talking about it in really racist ways. And I have the patience genuinely to talk to a civil, rational person about this. But like literally it's that you guys know when people comment on white people behavior, they're talking about racist white people, right? Like, you don't have to be worried about that if you're not the racist guy. Like, you need to check your behavior if your behavior is like those tweets. Like, it just takes a really fragile white dude to, like, see a white people statement and be like, not me, Janet. You know what I mean? It's so frustrating. For some reason, I keep smelling freshly turned dirt, and I don't know where it's coming from. That is such an annoying... that has happened to me a couple of times. Do you have... are you near any, like, plants or vegetables or anything like that? Like, do you have vegetables on the desk in front of you that haven't been washed enough or something? People always use things like this for racist discourse. It's gross. No. Okay, so the tweet that he's talking about, that Matt is talking about, is... a dude was talking about how there's a bunch of racist discourse about basically violence being a black behavior, and the discourse surrounding it right now is really, really gross. And And it's just not a good look to be a white person commenting on black behavior, essentially, especially because what the fuck is black behavior? Like, fuck you. Like, you are the one making the racist statement. You are the one making a blanket racist statement when this person is just standing up for himself, really. And, like, and people. Like, just other people. It's I mean, I had some brief acquaintances who ordered out food and it was late, and you'd think, where does race come into this? But they found a way to start it into a racist anti-Chinese joke spree. Yeah, that's disgusting. Well, that's true. I just felt like that tweet was commenting like, oh, this take is a racist white people take, when the take is jokes aren't an excuse for violence, which I feel is a pretty okay take to have. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm on Team Will Smith. I feel like, and I don't think that racist is ever okay, or racist? Wow, violence. I also don't think that neither violence nor racism ever am I going to stamp that, okay? Like, never am I going to be okay with that. However, what I was trying to fucking get at just now is that I think that I don't think that it's okay to make a joke about a medical issue that causes a woman to lose hair. You never joke about a woman losing hair. Like, it does not take a rocket scientist or a doctor to know that baldness is associated with illness, and most women who are bald are not bald by choice. That's not to say that none of them are, but most of them are not. And it's just really disgusting to make jokes about somebody's body. So he should not have done that in the fucking first place. Of course, Will Smith should not have hit the guy, but like 1,000,000%, I definitely understand that. I don't think his joke was worse than a slap. I think that Jada is going to be hurt by that instance for far longer than Chris Rock is going to be hurting from a fucking little back slap. The guy literally said, I don't attract women of quality, as if women are like fucking Viva Pinata animals that you have to attract to your garden with toxic masculinity. Also, as if I'm not literally currently in an active relationship with a love man. I love you. That was so sweet. Babe. For me, that whole slap thing is between Mr. Smith and Mr. Rock. The joke was not okay. Laying hands is probably not a great idea either. Yeah, Bungie Fox, exactly. Ooh, is that what the joke was about? I didn't get it. Like, she's bald. She's bald, and he made a joke about her being bald. And racists will have you believe that it's because she was in G.I. Jane. That is simply not true. I don't know.
No fame pod sparkler.
Oh, no fame. I don't know why that didn't... It only popped off in my notifications, but not in any of my feeds. The 3 feeds that I have. It didn't pop in any of those. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, Justin. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. If Will didn't do what he did, we would have already forgot or never even heard about the joke. I don't think that's true. And even if that is true, I don't think Jada's going to forget it anytime soon. She obviously was not ready to hear that joke. It obviously really hurt her feelings. And I don't know. I don't think that slapping was the answer. But, like, I definitely think that Chris Rock was way more out of line than Will Smith was. And at the end of the day, you guys, that's a bunch of rich people who are out of touch with reality and not used to having the same rules the rest of us have. Like, I am not using that as a defense for any of them. I'm using that to say it's really absurd for people to get heated one way or the other about it. Like, literally, they live entirely different lives than we will ever comprehend. And they will never comprehend ours either. So, like, why? Why should we involve ourselves in their squabbles? Except for the fact that what Will Smith did only hurt Chris Rock. What Chris Rock did was actively hurt millions of women with alopecia or hair loss in general. Like, I don't think it ever needed to turn into a discussion on black behavior. I don't think that it ever had to turn into a discussion outside of, oh, did you see that slip? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that celebrities aren't people, but I'm saying they aren't you and me. Okay? Like, they play by different rules than we do. Like, they live completely in a different reality. What I don't understand is why Will was laughing so hard at first. Like, he seemed to think it was funny. It was just a weird reaction overall. Because it was before he looked at Jada's face. Yeah. J-Rod, me and Josiah said the same thing. We didn't know until the slap happened. Laughing is most people's default response to being uncomfortable. Yeah, also that. Didn't look nervous to me. It looked genuine, but who knows? I don't know. I feel like he realized when he looked over at Jada what that truly was. I feel like he was an actor, like, at a fucking awards show, and he just reacted. And then it sunk in, and then he saw his wife's face, and then he was just like, okay, you're not getting away with that. I will say this has completely derailed my joke since we're already talking about it. Doxy, pretend we didn't bring this up and I just came into chat. Hey, Doxy, did you hear about Will? Will D's nut fit in your mouth? Got him. Oh, my. Anyway, hi, everyone. That's what's up. That's my stance. That's my shitty day. I commented as much on a Tim Allen tweet because I follow Tim Allen because I'm a boomer. And then a bunch of other white supremacists jumped in on me, and it was just gross and ugly, and I need to unfollow Tim Allen when I'm unbanned from Twitter because he's a disgusting right-wing boomer too, and like I just can't hang with that audience. I just can't hang. Yeah, exactly. I love Home Improvement. It's more JTT's fault than Tim Allen's, though. And Patricia Richards. But he's Santa Claus. I actually really like him as an actor. It's a character flaw of mine, I guess. Hi, Reaper. It's good to see you. Al Borland was the only good thing to come of that show. I do love Al Borland. Oof, yeah, Tim Allen, I enjoyed some of his programs, but him outside of acting, no thanks. Yeah. Anyway. Do you guys want to watch true crime and crochet some stuff? Home Improvement was my jam growing. It's so funny. It's such a funny show. But it's because it portrays Tim Allen as this doofus of a toxic masculine jerk. And then bad things happen to him all show. It's actually a very progressive satire. Anyway, everybody hang tight. I'm going to set this up. Wilson. You're not wrong. We do love Wilson. Oh my God, I just almost fucking swung my keyboard like a baseball bat into my webcam and monitor. I'm so glad that didn't work out. Hi, McQueeb. How are you? Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you very much. Last Man Standing is similar premise, but none of the charm. Yeah, I tried to watch it because I was like, I liked Home Improvement. People say this is similar, but yeah, I didn't think it was funny. I just didn't. Richard Karn is a golden calf in one Discord I'm part of, basically. Nice. That's very funny. I saw your tweet. I'm glad you found out about his patch notes on top of the fucking ludicrous comments he made to you. Doing good, by the way. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck else to say in that discussion. It's really weird that he took it to a sexual place between me and my partner. I'm so disgusted and disappointed because that really was like a beautiful little game. It was so fun. I stand by saying that it's a fun game, but I also implore you guys to not buy it because that's just putting dollars in the pocket of a white supremacist who is okay with sexually harassing women and their partners on Twitter who are trying to actively help them. Like, I literally went into that thinking that we were about to have a civil conversation about like why his thinking was a little bit understandable, but on the road to problematic before I found out that he actually was just like a problematic guy. It's just so nucky. The reason I got pissed off today was I saw a short 10-second vid of OMG, so impressive, tie a tie in 5 seconds, so fancy. And it was the like uneven knot, full Windsor knot gang. That's it. Oh, I definitely do like the 2-second tie, but I haven't had to tie a tie for a long time. Absolute trash, Dev. Super disappointing. And then McQueeb, he tried to drag Jay Tholen, Dev of Hypnospace Outlaw, aka the Perfect Game, aka the Goat Game, like my Goat Game, legitimately. My pinned tweet for months has been Hypnospace Outlaw is a perfect game. So I hope everybody knows that, like, just because this happened, it doesn't mean that, like, I'm jumping on this to get attention from Jay Tholen or something. I'm just scared that people are gonna, like, take this wrong. But he tried to drag Jay Tholen into it, who is game dev of My Goat Game and a really nice guy. So it's like, it's so frustrating that he like tried to tarnish the relationship that I had with Jay Tholen in the middle of the process too. And I'm just sad. Some anti-white stuff seems legit, but that tweet just seemed really harmless of all the ones he could attack. I don't know what tweet that tweet was in reference to, but I think that when black people speak up about being uncomfortable about white people discussing black behavior, I shut the fuck up and listen. Because, like, it's so fucked. It's not our place to have an opinion on that. It's our place to fucking listen. The white people saying it shouldn't lead to violence like it's a nuclear war. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. And the long and the short of it is that I'm gonna vet the people that we support on this stream a lot more carefully. Is the long and the short of it. And I'm like I said in Discord, if anybody bought that game because of me, I'm so fucking sorry. I wish that I had even a spare dollar to my name that I could refund you for that personally. But I don't. I like, please know that if I actually had enough money to know that my bills were covered this month, I would be offering to do that, but I don't. So I can't. I'm so sorry. And if he hurt any of you, I'm so sorry if I'm the one who brought that to you. And I promise you that I will be putting forth more effort in terms of vetting the people that we are supporting on stream. Again, it's not my place to tell you how to feel morally, but I am going to use my morals to run this stream. It's a $10 game that now has $15 worth of shit DLC. It's just so sad. It had a lot of promise. Like, that game was very fun when we played it. That game was very, very fun when we played it. I hate that it kind of became a discourse. We could have just had a nice meme where 2 rich people got into it and a bunch of other rich people watched. Yeah. Yes. I also, well, at the same time, though, I hate that Chris Rock made balding women feel that way. I am not, okay, I'm disgusted by that. Making people feel uncomfortable about their body is just fucking sick to me. That's sick. It's the same as when Nicki Minaj was like, fuck all the skinny bitches or whatever. Or like, that one super famous YouTuber went on that anti-fat rant. Like, all this shit is gross to me. Like, I'm not good with it. Anyway, you might think this funny. So playing Fortnite, I put up a bounty on a random player. I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. That random player hunted me down. I got trapped between 2 players and opted to go after the other guy and run, but I ran into a third guy, killed them, and was put down by the hunted. They decided to gloat by doing the Matrix emo only to be immediately gunned down by a fifth player. That's so funny. Yeah, insult comedy probably shouldn't be a part of the Oscars to begin with. But then I don't watch them anywho. Same. Yes, Nicole Arbor. That is the one that I was thinking about. It was so gross. Like, I do think that obesity is an epidemic and a choice, and I'm not here to fucking police people's bodies or anything, but like just hating fat people because they're fat is abhorrent. That's so fucking gross to me. I can't hang with that shit, dude. Can't hang with people judging other people's bodies at all. People who have honest conversations saying that a woman is worth more or less because she has boobs, real or fake. All the discourse surrounding the Kardashian bodies. I just fucking all the shit that fat men get being like just the butt of the jokes and never seen as sexy and stuff like that. Like, just yuck. Just yuck. She did the parody of This Is America too. Fucking cringe. I haven't heard of that. Ugh. I certainly don't care about the Oscars normally, and this I care even less about. I care about the wars happening around the world, people's rights being eroded, capitalism running wild. I ain't got time to worry about one person slapping one other person, especially when both of those people are hoarding more wealth than any of us could use in a lifetime. Can we all just hate for the right reason because everyone sucks regardless? Listen, man, I just want to watch true crime, crochet, maybe smoke some weed sometimes, love people, and let people be loved by other people, and every once in a while do a video game and be with babe. People shouldn't hate on fake boobs. Mine are fake and they're great. I bet they're amazing. Nice. I'm sure they're amazing. Be proud of who we are. Exactly. I get fucking mad. I get fucking mad when people try to make a joke out about somebody's body. Which one of Kika, kitty. He was in here a minute ago. Kika, you're such a good boy. I love you so much. You know it. You're the handsomest baby boy. Doxy, coming to San Diego for TwitchCon. I am still not comfortable doing conventions until probably next year. Also, I'm poor. I like, even if I was comfortable with it, I cannot afford it this year. My boobs are naturally non-existent. Yeah, fair. I'm sure that they're amazing. Anyway, I hate all boobs I haven't touched. Fight me. I want smaller boobs I can lay on my back without getting smacked by them. I didn't know that you lived in the San Diego area, though, McQueeb. That's good to know. Next time I'm there, I have a few people that I really need to hit up. I will definitely. Oh, I got a cancelable hotel room just in case. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, super fair enough. So you might not be in that area. Never mind. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to, like, dox. I'm just the worst. Don't ever. Don't ever listen to anything I ever say. Everybody just turn off your computers. Go crochet something. Fuck me, dude. Living up to your namesake, don't worry about it. Her name is Zero Doxy, of course. Yeah, I know, guys. God, I'm sorry. Victoria V, how are you? It's good to see you. All right, let's get this show on the road, hey? I just don't want to talk about this shitty stuff anymore. I just want to hang out with my chat, and we can all be in love with each other. Yeah, okay, I'm sick of talking about these racists. Let's hang with some civilized people, like parent murderers, okay? Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, so I apologize in advance for my desk. I just threw a ton more shit on my desk because we did our spring cleaning yesterday. So my desk is extra grody right now. It's disgusting. Okay, you can't really see too terribly much of it anyway, which is fine. Configure video. Please zoom in as much as you can. And then we want to tilt it this way. Hell yeah. Oh my god, it looks perfect. And then excellent. We had to put a butthole in the middle, right? Okay. Do you still remember the story you told us a long time ago about your middle name meat table? Yeah, I sure do. How Brian had a dream that I was crying and he was trying to make me feel better. This was when I lived with him. This was before he wrote Fate Weaver, actually. He had a dream that I was crying, just inconsolable, so upset. And I may have made a dire mistake. I forgot to put the video up on screen before marking where I need to be. I would get a zero doxy tattoo. It's from Borderlands, right? No. I'll tell you about it in a second. Anyway, he had a dream that I was like crying super hard and he was just like, no, what's the matter? It's okay. And I was crying because I was upset that my middle name was Meat Table. Just the words meat table. And he was just like trying to convince me that it was a pretty name, even though he was like, oh, yikes. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. Also, is Tiny Tina amazing? Tiny Tina was my favorite creation of the entire Borderlands universe. But my name actually comes from the quote, the movie, The Big Lebowski, the line Market Zero. Made my name Market Zero on everything with a 0 for the O. And then nobody knew that I was a girl because I didn't use comms, because back then that was a fucking mistake. And so I didn't do it, and I just let everybody believe that I was a boy. Except for it still sucked a lot to be called Mark. So I was like, okay, well, I definitely don't want to be called Mark. So I shortened it to 0, which is taken everywhere. And then I had a group of friends online that I played video games with, and we had the age-old debate about pirates versus ninjas. I was the only person who was team pirates. Everybody else was team ninja. So, of course, since they knew I was a girl, they started referring to me as a pirate hooker. And doxy is a derogatory name used for women, meaning hooker, used by pirates. So that's the whole story of my name. That's where it all comes from. Tina, I like Torque. Though if they had Tiny Tina as a playable character with a special weird bricks picks her up, with a special wear brick picks her up and she throws bombs everywhere, that would be sick. If I completely get the I cannot use voice chat back in the day, I still get nervous depending on the community. Same. It's awful in Overwatch. It's so bad. I'm sure you guys remember. I had no idea that's what doxy meant. The more you know. Yeah. My PG version of explaining it to kids is that it's also a mythical creature found in Harry Potter. With several legs. They have 4 legs. Okay. True crime. Hi, babe.
Hello.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm gonna buy that VFX bundle because it's fucking sick.
Is it sick?
Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
I love you.
Love you too. Have fun.
Okay.
Try not to get too many nightmares, gang.
Are we both going to be able to download it?
Yes.
Sick.
Because it's something that
It just plugs into the...
Yeah. It should automatically go into your Premiere since it's all through like the same account?
I don't know. I don't have like a whole lot of fonts and stuff available or effects.
I'll figure it out. Get
Okay.
back to streaming. But
All right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get my marijuana out of frame and we're going to bust out the scarf that we have going. I'm so set. I mean, I belch on stream all the time. I just didn't mean to do it that time. It just snuck out. So I'm not going to act like a princess and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because I'm not that sorry. I belch on stream constantly. But I am a little sorry. A little sorry that I can't control my own fucking body. Babe, you should link that in chat, actually. You should definitely link that in chat because I think that there are several people that edit videos in here. You just tweeted about it? I wouldn't know. Because I threatened to slap ContraPoints and it was a very serious topic. Anyway. Ugh. I'm so crabby. Fuck, we're on day 3, not day 2. I forgot that we're part of the way through day 3. And I don't have my fucking keyboard. If you're ever in LA, just say the word. Would love to meet you in Boif. Yeah, I would love that too. I think that we would have so much fun just like getting a beer or something. I just edit fart noises into videos. Really confusing when I moved from work. You're the person who edits the funeral videos for people. We're at day 3 already? Yep. How's it going anyway? The trial. I missed day 2. Day 2 was like really, really boring. Nice. Yeah, it totally did. Ugh, you're amazing. Thank you, Kool-Aid. Thank you. Holy shit, that FX bundle is sick. Yeah, I showed him. Nice. There was an email that I got, and I wanted to make sure that he saw it. On day 2, we watched a driveway for 20 minutes. Yes. Day 2 was really, really boring. Apparently, this is the day where shit gets spicy, which means that I need to be very, very careful. So if I am not on top of crochet today, that is the reason why. Anyway, I finally have everything open here. Properties. Yes, this please. Okay. If I could just see 4 readies in chat, that would make me very happy. And we would get to go in here. I need a Sharpie. Anyway, okay. I feel good about this. Excellent. We have so many readies. Ugh, can I just say, a lot of my stress and bad feelings have just melted away just seeing some of your names in here. I just love ya. Thank you so much for being so wonderful and supportive and willing to listen to me all the time, you guys. Really, if I could give each and every one of you that wanted one a hug, I would fucking do it. Like, I would love to hug all of you. Did you hear the Don't Say Gay bill is now law? Yeah, I heard. It's just a fucking great day all around, isn't it?
Exhibit 68.
Yep, that's the messy shed.
I want a doxy hug. I want to give you one.
Exhibit 69, more the same.
Really bad.
Right.
I truly adore you guys. I think about you all the time. I missed you this weekend, even. Like, pretty bad.
Along the back wall, kind of by some boards.
Y'all, I give fucking awesome
Yeah,
hugs, too.
There's a bird bath there.
Can you tell at all from this angle what was behind the bird bath?
Well, there's a rifle there. Yes.
Do you keep guns in your barn?
Not normally. My dad, sometimes he'd keep a pellet gun up there, but he hasn't been walking for a few years, so.
So what did you do when you, well, first off, when did you first see this gun?
I feel like I have a
was
fever a little bit.
organizing along the wall, you know, like I say, I was cleaning out my shed, and I wanted to go through these.
It'd have to be a
like,
group
garden
hug with my
tools,
wife
'cause
as
I,
well.
you know,
Any wife of
making
yours
sure
is a
if I
wife of
still use
mine.
them, were they broken, and I was going to throw them away, so.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And then I was organizing. putting
Josiah, don't
lumber
break up
where
with
the
me.
lumber
Staffy
goes,
doll,
recycling
don't
where the
think that
recycling
your
goes,
wife
and
is
so I
cheating.
lifted up a board, and I saw a barrel of a gun, and I thought, huh. And right away I thought, what's my dad, what the heck has he got his pellet
This time
gun
the
over
lawyer
here?
isn't
So
mic'd
I-
up well.
I picked it up by the barrel and looked at it, and
They
I
are
right
up
away
presenting
recognized it wasn't a
evidence
gun that I'd ever
right
saw
now.
or seen ever before.
And just to be clear for the jury, this gun, before you lifted it up, was behind a board.
Yes, it was behind us. There was like maybe 4 or 5 different boards there.
So upon realizing you don't know where this gun came from, what do you do?
Well, the first thing is I just felt sort of this sick feeling, and I set it back down, and then I went to ask my father just to make sure that he didn't know about any gun in the shed, and I went and asked, and he said, well, what is it
She
look
left her
like,
mask
or
on. What a
whatever. And I
baddie.
said,
Yeah.
well, Dad, I'm just going to call the police. And then I called Krista, the head of the investigation.
She doesn't let
She
fear
left me a
rule
number.
her.
And I called her and spoke with her and told her what I'd found, and she told me that she was.
What if
gonna
this all
send
turned out to be a
somebody
long
out.
open to an episode of Harvey Birdman? Holy shit. That would be pretty fucking dark.
Oh, it was in the middle of October-ish because I wanted to clean out the shed earlier, but the police were there for so long. My raspberries started, so it was after the raspberries were done, which was sometime in the end of October-ish.
Okay. All right. So it was
So I wonder
Yes.
what would happen if you were summoned to court and you had COVID.
one. Is that a picture of the gun that you found in your barn?
It's kind of a glare.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is.
Yeah. It looks to be.
Do you want to look at the actual photo?
Yeah, that would
I
be
think illness is a legit excuse. Well, I mean, like, what if this
But it
lady had
looks-
COVID
similar.
and she was like, oh, is a witness? Like, she's subpoenaed. Do they
Yes.
just move the trial, or do you not? Do they just like forfeit your testimony?
Bless you.
They postponed a few times because people. Okay.
And exhibit 72. Let's see if I can get that maybe a little better. That's just a close up of the same.
I wonder if this lady
Yes.
is like getting over COVID and that's why she refused to take off her mask, or if she's like more at risk or what. Or if she's just like, fuck you, this pandemic isn't over yet.
Then in October, after you
Wouldn't be surprised if they used Zoom too, yeah.
retrieve the gun.
Oh my
Yes.
God, Lawrence. Thank you that's so nice of you. That's so nice of you to do. I appreciate it so much. Truly.
In
Thank you
July,
so
when
much.
Chandler was on your farm,
Big
did you have
McLeod
your
Huge
barn or
underscore
your shed
Alsamat
locked
Sparkler.
at all?
Lawrence Delama gifted a
No.
tier 1 sub to Big McLeod Huge underscore Alsamat.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi.
Picking up where you
Fanatical
just
Fighters
left
Sparkler.
off,
Lawrence Delama gifted a tier 1
do you
sub to
ever
Fanatical Fighters.
lock or close up
I'm
that
going to let this play all the way
shed or
before I
barn?
talk because 3 things
I haven't
talking
for
at
some
once is
years. When
probably
I
fucking
used to go to
miserable.
Florida in the winter, I would close it and lock it, but I haven't been there for a while.
Arctic News
Oh,
Sparkler.
G Squall,
Lawrence
she
Delama
totally
gifted
does. She
a
lives
tier
with
1
her
sub to
very,
Vitamin.
very old
Before
father.
you got
You're
the
right.
Garbage
Duh.
bin and did the major cleaning of the shed. You didn't know exactly
Ninja
every
underscore
item that was
42
in there,
Sparkler.
right?
Lawrence Delama gifted a tier 1 sub
No,
to
not
Ninja
every
underscore
single item,
42.
no.
And you testified that there was a delay in getting the garbage bin and cleaning out
Jet
that
underscore
shed
lagging
because the
Sparkler.
police
Lawrence
were there
Delama
for
gifted a tier 1
while.
sub to Jet underscore
That's
lagging.
correct.
How long were
Yeah,
they
that's Chet.
there in possession of your
Justin.
property or on your property?
My Australian friend.
Seemed like forever.
He doesn't make me pay him.
A couple of weeks at least.
Spakla.
Maybe longer.
And they had closed off that area to you?
Yes, they.
I love
they
accents.
got
They're so
upset
fun.
Every time I come up with a lawnmower because I couldn't
Good
even
day,
mow my
shit.
lawn, and
Are you talking to my
it's
chat room or
frustrating, so
to
they
my
pretty
voiceover?
much kept me by my house. They didn't really want me anywhere around.
And was it your understanding that they were searching that area?
Lawrence,
at
I
that
appreciate you
time?
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they were.
My cat is
searching
absolutely
my whole
obsessed with me
property
right now
and
because I let
served me
him in the
with a
house.
warrant.
He was insane for me when I let him in because he's like my savior from the elements, the perils of the outside world. My cat is
Now,
very
moving
like that
back in
too. When
time
he
a
goes
little bit
outside, he
to
loves
4th of
snuggles when he
July
comes in.
weekend,
Food first,
I
then
think I heard you
snuggles.
testified that
Typically.
Chandler Halderson was not acting like himself. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it was for that,
Okay,
that
okay.
observation that you and Dulce might have thought, oh, is he doing some drugs? Is that right?
He says hello.
Yeah, it was a question.
Chet, back
We
in the
couldn't
cage.
figure out
Back in
why.
the cage with
He
the
seemed a little
microphone.
off.
And you had never seen him like that
I
before, right?
swear to God.
And normally he's sort of a quiet, nerdy kid, right?
Chet's getting uppity.
Yeah, that's a good description.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
May Ms. Lasai be excused at this time,
She's excused.
but not released?
Correct.
That means that you're still under the subpoena with which you've been served, so you can't
Ooh,
discuss
yoga.
testimony with anyone, but you're excused unless...
Fucking
you
love
call
me
for
some
an
yoga,
extended
dude.
time. You can stay in touch with them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Have
you.
a good rest of your day.
I feel like sweaty and stinky.
The steak calls Brent.
Oh man, a bloomin' onion sounds amazing with ranch. Me and Malbec tried to figure out how to make them once. All we really made was a mess and soggy fried like onions. They were not, the breading didn't stick to them. It was a mess. It was no good.
Detective, you anticipated my question. If you're willing and able to safely and responsibly testify without a mask, please do so. Thank you. Attorney Brown.
Good afternoon. Please state and spell your name for the jury.
It's Brent Baverstock, Brent Baverstock.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a detective with the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
In your role as a detective with the Dane County Sheriff's
This
Office,
guy's
were
been
you
on the
asked to
stand
follow up
already
an
for this,
investigation
right?
of two missing
You had me
people
until
in
ranch. You don't like
Halderson-
ranch?
Mr.
Oh, I
Halderson
love
in the
ranch.
Early part of July of
I love it.
2021.
Yes.
Initially, what was your role in the investigation?
I was not initially a part of the first response to it. However, maybe shortly before noon on July 8th, Detective Liz Allen came to my office. She said she had just had a phone call with the mother of Catherine Melander, who was the girlfriend of Chandler Halderson. And during that phone call, she didn't intended to do initially just a phone interview, just kind of get some background information, but
I have to
some
fuck
things on
around
that
with the
phone
yarn
call
for a
alerted
minute,
her to
guys. I'm
believe
so
that
sorry.
we
I'm
need to
gonna
follow
need
up
to
with
like
a,
wrap it.
in-person interview. So she came to my office and asked me to sit in on that interview because we try to interview people, with at least two detectives there to support each other.
Sure. And was that with Dulce?
That was with Dulce, correct?
And just briefly, if you could describe Dulce's kind of a emotional state during some of that interview.
Well, we got to the location where we agreed to interview her, which is she was in the middle of.
Ooh,
some
we have to end
classes,
before it turns into this
trying to
color.
improve her education. And we sat in a side little conference room, and she was emotionally distraught. She kind of had this look of fear and panic in her eyes.
Hi, Ariana. How are you?
Now, they've testified, so we're not going to talk much about that interview.
If I ever made it
but
hard
at
to
some point,
move
you
my
end up,
arm quite as
going
much
to a
as
farm
should be
that you
able to.
thought
That
might have been
sucks.
visited
I'm
by
so
Chandler Halderson
sorry to
over the
hear
4th of
that.
July weekend and leading into the next
Man,
week.
what a bummer.
Yeah, based upon our interviews with them.
Fucking chronic illnesses are, all of them
we
can
determined we needed to
suck
get out
my
to that
dick.
farm right away and search it.
All of them.
Sure. I think it's been described as being near Cottage Grove, but kind of in a rural area of Dane County. That sound fair to you?
Yes.
I
The
consent
entire
to chronic
location of that
illness
farm, is that
sucking
here in
my
Dane County,
dick.
Wisconsin?
Yes, it is.
And fairly remote.
Yeah.
Had you ever been there before?
No.
If you could describe the farm just in general to us.
Sure.
We
well,
only had to
it's,
cut off like
probably 30 to 40 acres. A lot
A
of it is
foot and
wooded.
4 inches?
The house sits in
Like
a
16
wooded
inches,
area.
probably. So that's not so
There's
bad.
a
I'll take
paved
that.
driveway that goes
Also,
up to
I
the
have a
road,
knife. I have a
that
knife
turns
now.
off
We're not
to
burning
where
the yarn
house is.
anymore.
And then if you kept
A
going straight on that,
grunt
it would
job.
turn into a gravel, and then up into the grassy area would be where like the back shed was in the pool.
Holy
and
shit, that was
the
very
raspberries.
funny.
Did you personally yourself walk out there
Ooh.
with Cress or Dulce or anybody?
Yes, I
Ooh,
did.
okay. Sorry, that was very funny.
Well, I had first gone there, responded out there pretty quickly. There were a lot of red flags that popped up during my interview with Crescent, and I called to the command post to Detective Sims, and I talked to her. I'm like, I need some more people. We need to get out here. We need to search this place right away. But we were pretty stretched thin at that point. We had sent a team up to
Yeah,
a
Bungie
team
Fox,
was,
I agree.
headed
In
up
a
to the
day
cabin
and age where
to,
we have the
do some
internet,
investigation
everybody
up
should
there,
be able to
meet some
read,
more
hey?
people.
Like, unless they choose not to. If
we
you
got there and searched
choose
it.
not to learn to read, that's
So,
your
she was able
fucking
to,
right, I guess.
Provided
But
another
anybody that
detective,
wants to
Detective
know
Tim
how to
Blank,
read,
along with me and,
like,
Detective
it
Liz
should not
Allen,
cost
and then
anything
while I
to
was on
learn
the
how
way,
to
I
read.
contacted Barry Ehrman from the Dane County Medical Examiner's
There
Office.
should not
and
be
asked him to
a
respond with his cadaver
barrier
dog
to
help us in the
entry for
search.
learning how to read. I feel like reading is
I
a
got
basic
there
human
and
right.
nobody was there. I had expected Cress and Dulce to beat me there. I went to the house, knocked on the door, and nobody answered. And I got worried that they may went up and started searching on their own. So I went up there.
Oh no, it's very in
grassy
Bardic
area.
Muse.
Like, you can see you have a photo of the farm there. So I could see whether or not anybody was back by there.
I did not mean to do that.
And
You're mad
I
they made you
noticed,
learn
you know, during
cursive?
my-
Oh, I'm happy I know cursive.
contact with Cress, she did talk that she had recently seen
I
photos.
regret learning how to read.
so
I've
funny.
read so many stupid
Turn over
things.
it, Jeff.
Fair enough, Tiny Ween.
Sure.
I have also spent times on
Did you yourself at some point see some
Fox.com.
birds, over the woods?
I also follow
Yes.
Tommy
And what were
Loren
those birds?
on
turkey
Twitter.
vultures.
And did that raise red flags to you?
Oh, yeah.
I've spent more time than I care to admit on 4chan also.
You know, most birds really don't have a sense of smell except for turkey vultures. Turkey vultures actually, you know, when a body or an animal or creature dies, it starts going through some changes. The microorganisms on there start producing different gases, and it emanates an odor. Turkey
Really,
vultures
Bungie
can smell
Fox?
that. And when they do,
Interesting.
they'll start circling the area to locate where it's coming from.
And were those turkey vultures over the wooded area at the farm?
When I got there, yeah.
I don't know how to drive stick.
Um,
And I'm probably
did
older than
find
you,
Cress and Dulce
J-Rod.
as you walked back there?
I guess I can't really
I
really
walked up
say
there,
that
didn't
for
see
certain.
them,
I have no
and
idea
then
how old you are.
Dulce or Cress came out of the back sliding patio door and met me. And then
Are kids really not taught
asked
how
her if
to
she could
read an
show
analog
me
clock
again
anymore?
where
That's
she had
very
seen
weird to
Chandler,
me.
back by the
Aw,
woods,
damn it. I mean,
we
also,
walked
you're
back
one
up
foot in
to
the
the,
grave, so whatever. I win still.
the area of the shed, and she showed me.
When you
Thanks
say
to the
she showed you,
detective
did
for
she point physically?
mansplaining turkey
Yes, she
vulture.
did.
All right. And so what I'm going to have you do, and because she's already testified, you can't say what she said, but you saw her point at a location?
Yes.
Can you
Yeah, I
please
feel like
stand up for 1
calligraphy
second and point on that
should
map to
be
the location that Cress pointed out to you? And where
Here's
she
the
saw
deal,
Chandler?
gang.
Sure.
I feel like people who want to learn cursive should be able to learn cursive. I feel like calligraphy should be an elective in high schools. You'll take me with you? You know what? I can't stand the idea of living without you anyway, so I'll take it. I still win.
Your Honor, objection, hearsay again.
I teach
sorry,
pre-K to
Mr. Barber,
5th music, and very few
Hearsay
students can
again
read a
about
clock.
what
That's
someone
crazy to
told
me.
him.
You should teach
And
them.
maybe I'll ask a better
It
question.
took me all of like 10
When she
minutes to teach
physically
my niece how to
herself
read a
pointed
clock.
At a location where she saw Chandler
And she
point
doesn't
out,
even know how to
where was that?
multiply yet.
Okay. Okay, physically put her hand up and pointed.
I believe people who want to
you.
listen to cursive have the right to listen to cursive. Okay, but even people who like don't even know to listen to cursive should
I
at least
would
give
say
them a
that the
shot because they're
witness,
kind of good.
Just pointed to toward the wood line.
Even if they're not your
approximately,
tastes, you have to
a
recognize that
foot,
there's talent there.
Below that barn, where the barn is. Council's nodding in agreement, so I think that's fair to say.
You saw
At that
cursive
point,
live like 2 months ago. I did
what did
not
you-
know that they were touring. That's sick.
Well, my partners hadn't arrived yet.
Was it a good show?
I asked for
I
Crest
will
to go back and wait in the house, and I
always
told the
remember
other
how
partners to be here
devastating it
soon,
was
and
to
we'd
see
start
Modest
doing our
Mouse
search.
live
Returned
and
back to the driveway, and
learn
Detective
that
Blank
they
and
just
Detective
are
Allen,
terrible
had
live
arrived
performers.
shortly
They just are
thereafter,
not
and then,
good
we
at
went back
performing
up to the
live.
area,
Like
and
you
we
can
started
tell,
looking
all of
around.
them have tremendous
So,
anxiety
I'm gonna ask
about
you
it.
What you saw first when you got down to that area? All these.
I didn't
pause
know
for a
they made it
second.
out of the emo
Apologize
years.
for
Same.
Maybe being sporadic there.
Yeah, I was
All of
very
these
good at
vehicles in the
Gabe's.
photograph, those
Okay,
are
okay.
related
Tiny
to law
Ween.
enforcement and the investigation, correct?
We talked about
Correct.
this.
There
Never
were
mind.
not
I'm a
bunch
big
of
dumb
vehicles
idiot.
Parked out there when you were there.
No.
Were there any vehicles parked out there other than law enforcement vehicles?
I heard that about Modest
There's
Mouse,
one
so
vehicle
unfortunate
parked
because
inside
there's
the shed,
such a
but not
jam. Agree.
Visible. I think,
These
from the
walls are
photo there.
paper thin and everyone hears
As you
every
got
little
over
sound.
toward, let's say that jump pile, before the grass
Music
gets
teacher,
longer
you're going to
there, did
enjoy
you
something
see
I'm
any
working
signs
on.
that
It's about an
some car
ARG
had
that
been over
requires
there?
some music knowledge to
Yes.
solve a
What did you
puzzle.
see?
Hell yeah.
Well, Detective
Also,
Blank
hi,
pointed it out
Quinn. How
first.
are
He
you?
pointed over and he said, "Well, looks like cars driven through the tall grass over here." I'm like, yeah, it does.
There are many life
So
skills
we
that are
went over
lacking
there
that I
and,
wish I could
we
teach.
saw
I
there
only
were
get them for
2
1 hour a
tracks
week and
of
can't
the
teach my
taller
own
grass.
stuff.
The
Yeah,
grass
fair
is
enough.
probably about,
That's fair. I don't know why I was
waist
like,
height.
you should teach them.
You
That's
can
not your
see the 2
responsibility. I'm an
track
asshole. I'm
marks that go
sorry.
back along the parallel with the wood line there.
And at
Literally not
that
what
point
you're
or
paid
shortly
to do.
thereafter, you and other detectives began maybe searching a little bit closer into where those tire tracks went.
Yeah, we began to follow them. They went back probably about to an area where there were some white wooden boxes that are old beehives. They're just kind of stored along the.
I like
the
military
tree line.
time because
That's
my
before you entered the woods,
sleeping
correct?
That's before we entered the woods.
Okay,
situation
so we're
is
gonna
so
pause there.
fucked
I'm
up.
gonna have you look at a
Sometimes when I
couple of
wake up at
exhibits
6
first,
p.m.
so
in
we're
the
all on the same
winter,
page.
or like 6
Exhibits 75
o'clock
through
in the winter,
81.
I don't know
Just
whether
page
it's
through those
AM or
and give me
PM,
just,
is what
in
I
general,
meant to
what am I
say.
looking at there?
75 is the driveway entrance.
Like
for
with
the,
depression and
the
like
residents
just
to the farm.
overall my body wanting there to be a 30-hour day in which I am awake for 20 hours and
76 is
asleep
just
for
going
10.
up further along the driveway. You can see it starts to split at the end there.
Like
This
all
little
of it just
angle
makes
to the
my
right
sleeping
here
so
goes
long.
towards
And
the house,
also
and
I
the one
have
that continues straight on is the one that continues to where it becomes.
I have
gravel and goes up
intermittent
towards
insomnia.
field.
Like when
Here's
it
where if you
depends
were to
on
take
my
that
depression, it
little
depends
fork in the
on
driveway and go right, you would see the
hi
house.
Thrax. It depends on like my
number
my
77.
menstrual cycle. It depends on a lot.
Number 78
Or sometimes
is
sleep for
the-
20. Also sometimes sleep for 20.
The back
I
side of the
have
house, but
slept
if you
for like
drive
13,
in,
14 hours, like a
to
lot
the
of
driveway,
times.
So the
Like a lot
garage
of
would be
times.
on
It's
the
not
right side of this picture.
Unusual.
So this would be facing back towards like the pool area.
Sure.
That's number 78. 79 is the gravel driveway where the paved portion turns into gravel and then continues up towards the pool.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
79.
Lawrence, I get you.
80?
80 is after the gravel driveway ends, and we're now heading to just the grassy area to where the you see the raspberry garden here, and then the pool.
Okay.
And then 81, this is the area in which Crescent had pointed out to me that the vehicle had parked, and
I feel
she actually
unlucky.
noted out
I
that
only get into insomnia
these tire
territory
marks
if I
here
have
in the
real bad
grass.
heartburn or whatever. Something has to really stop me from sleeping anymore. Oh, Bungie, I'm so
But is
jealous.
81 that area that was pointed out?
Not of
Correct.
the
All right,
acid
I'll take
reflux
those
or
exhibits. I'll move to publish,
whatever, but
75 through 81?
I think they haven't been moved into evidence yet.
I'll move them into evidence.
Any
No
objection?
objection.
They are received, you may publish.
And if you could put the HDMI 2 on, I'm going to display these off my computer so there's no glare. Exhibit number 75, we're looking at the driveway coming from the street
so
up to the
can you
house.
just be tired from anxiety?
Is that correct?
Maybe that's
That is
what's wrong with
correct.
me. Yeah,
Page 30, 76,
absolutely.
That's that driveway coming up right before the split.
That's a
Correct.
big part of my
77
anxiety
coming
is
up toward the
that
house.
I'm just
Yep, that's
exhausted
the
all the
split to
time
the
from
right,
having
looking at
this
the house.
underlying worry
78
going
view of
at
the
all
house.
time.
Correct.
That's the lawnmower we might have heard about people driving around.
Yes.
And if we're looking at this house, beyond it is the pool and the shed and that grassy area, correct?
We're getting
If you were
pretty
standing
much-
at that patio door,
pretty
and
much
looking
wiped
away
out
from the
my
house would be the
insomnia.
pool.
Man, I would rather
79,
exercise
the
wipe out
gravel
my insomnia,
driveway
but
as it goes
sometimes
up
even when
toward
I'm
the
exercising
pool in
really
that
hard,
area.
it doesn't
Correct.
matter.
80, now we're
Yo,
kind of in that
J-Rod,
grassy area.
twinning.
Yep,
We're
that's where the
twinning
gravel
over
ends, and
here.
It's just the open area.
and 81.
Oh, no,
So
more
this is generally
driveway.
kind of the start of the area that was pointed out to you.
It's
Yeah,
almost
the moat
over, I'm
area
sure.
Just to the south of the big shed.
Sure. I'm going to do this a little bit differently now. I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case as exhibits number 82 through 107. Just by yourself, page through those, and the question at the end is going to be, are these photographs of essentially that area leading up to what you found and the items that you found in the woods? I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to look at them all together, okay?
Okay.
So you can just look through those and let me know if that's what we're looking at.
Is that 82 to 107, Council?
Correct.
Thank you.
I slept until like 11 a.m. this weekend, and immediately I was like, waking up this late is exhausting. I'm going back to bed. 100% has happened to me dozens of times. Like, you might want to talk to your doctor about anxiety. That very much sounds like an anxiety event to me. I have a tendency to bottle everything up for 2 to 3 months, then have a complete breakdown at like 2 a.m.
Leading out to the area
I'm
that was
sorry,
pointed out to
bud.
you, and then
I hope
ultimately
that-
your search into the woods and maybe what you found.
I hope that you can
Yes,
figure
sir.
out.
Appear
Please
true and
take
accurate
this
to
with
the best of your
no
knowledge.
condescension
Yes,
because
they are.
I
That would
mean
move
none.
82 through
But I hope that you can find out
They are
a
received.
healthier
We're gonna do this
coping
together. We're gonna
mechanism
walk
because
through
that
them.
sounds like torture.
So
I'm
you
sorry that
see,
you have to go through that.
And Detective, you can see the same exhibit on the computer monitor if you wish to.
Okay.
And that might help pick up the microphone better as we go through this.
So we'll start with 82. What are we looking at there, and what did you personally observe when you were out there?
So there's the mowed section of the grass, which is just south of the barn. There's a the stack of old logs sitting there, but to the right is where we could see
pardon
what
me,
appeared
I'm
to
so
be
sorry.
two tire
Kind
marks
of the
going
group of
into the
waking up
deeper
early and it's
grass.
been feeling nice.
you
The
follow those
motivation
tire
is
marks?
also early
Yes, I
morning
did.
streams, so I can watch my friends in the evening. So that also feels good. Justin, that's
Excuse me,
sick.
83,
That's
just a
really
different view of
smart.
those tire marks.
I used to stream early in the
84, what are we
day, and it
looking
was
at there?
very fun.
Just a continuation of the tire marks.
It was really nice, but I can't keep
where
up with
the-
it. I fuck it up so much more.
Tire marks.
Times at
end.
night where I can't sleep just because my mind won't
There's
stop
another
going
area
on
of
about
depressed
things.
grass.
So I take a couple melatonin to quiet it for a
which
bit.
would
Yeah, I
then,
need stronger than
if you're looking at
melatonin now.
the two tire
Melatonin doesn't
marks,
really help me as much as it used
Where they
to.
stop, there's another area.
I
of
mean,
depressed
stronger than
grass in all different
melatonin is
directions
not
at
the
end of
right
it.
way to look at that,
sitting
because
right
it's not
there.
like a strength thing with
go to
melatonin, really. But
85.
I think you guys
This
know
is-
what I'm getting at. I
looking
have to
more into
have
the woods at this
prescribed
point?
sleep medicine.
Yeah. So
And even then,
you're
that doesn't
standing
work
near
all the
where all
time.
that grass was.
It's a
patted
bummer.
down
But my
at the
sleep
end of the
issues
tire
have
marks
always
in the
been
grass.
have been
You look
hell.
over and you can see.
There was a long period
more
in
of the
high school
grass
where I
is, like,
only
pressed
slept
down,
every other night.
heading
It
towards
was
the woods.
awful.
And, was that, we're seeing it on a photograph, but I'll ask you, because you were out there, was it apparent to you that this was an area that had been walked through or
Same
trampled
with
in some way
same as
by
with
someone
Bumble
or
Kitty's
something?
story. Agree. And I just I had
Did you follow
to
it?
realize
Yes, I did.
Okay,
also
so you
that
entered the woods right
antidepressants
there?
just aren't
Correct.
for
All
me.
right, we're going to pause
That
for a
I
second. On
probably
this big
should just
blow-up,
be
if you could just stand up for one
treating
second
my
and point to the
ADD,
jury on
and it will
exhibit
help
number
my
57,
depression so
where
much.
You cut into the woods.
But now I'm in the process of trying to move to a new country, and in that new country is socialized healthcare. So it's really, really fucking hard to get treated for anything here for me. It's going to be very expensive, and I will not be able to afford medications.
All right. For the record, the witness ran his hands essentially down the wood line from the junk pile to the beehives, and then drug them into the woods. Okay.
No objection.
Very good.
'86 photograph of that trampled area.
Yeah, J-Rod, it fucking sucks. Yeah, Squala, I am
87,
trying to
what
move
are
to
we looking at
Canada.
there?
So
Like, I'm staying in
picture
Canada
doesn't
right
show it as
now,
much, but there's.
but I'm not a resident here yet.
Again, you can see the vegetation in the ground there, but it was very directional as far as this area. To see like this log, the vegetation had been trampled down. So it's hard to tell from this picture, but there's actually a downward slope here. You know, if the trees weren't here, it'd be a good little sledding hill for little kids. But there's like a downward slope that goes down into, you can see like a little brush pile down there.
Okay. 88.
Yeah, I
what are
just
we
use
looking at there?
alcohol. Seems to work for me
More of the
mostly. My
trampled grass
apnea
that
sucks
goes
though.
to
I
this
think I
log,
might have sleep
that goes
apnea.
across. And then you can see
I'm not entirely sure. I've woken up not breathing a couple of times. Like I've woken up from lack of oxygen a few
scraped
times.
off, as if something had scraped it off.
Did you notice anything ultimately beyond that log at this point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tiff the Awesome. That's
the
exactly
pile of sticks
my
on the other
same
side of
shit.
the log, and there was just something that wasn't natural under the sticks.
Did you go check it out?
Yeah, I got as close.
Lawrence,
as
have
I
you ever
had to.
tried any like not fast
Maybe
acting,
line
like
photo, just move
any
a
of
little
the
closer.
stuff that like treats underlying
Yep,
anxiety?
yeah, again, you see the
Not
scrapes
the
on
like
the log there,
lorazepam, etc., and
just
so forth.
under the moss, and then you can see the pile of sticks there, and there's something underneath it. Couldn't quite tell what it was right away, so I stepped over the log and got a little bit of a closer look.
And what did you find?
I didn't know what it was at first.
What do you mean by that?
It took me a while to process what I was seeing. You know, then it became obvious that I was looking at a human torso.
Oh my God, did they
I'm gonna
show
move a
it?
little bit closer to photograph 90.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And again, we're starting to maybe be able to see that, what you saw that there,
Yes.
under those sticks.
Oh thank God. Okay. Oh thank God.
Going to 91, a different view of kind of looking at through those sticks.
Yeah, and this is about the view that I had. You could see the flesh-colored skin on the right, and the belt and pants.
Okay. Sick. Okay.
and,
Okay.
the
Okay. Okay.
black
Whew.
attached to it. And it was,
So it turns out the news
you
is
see the
on
rope
top of
coming
it.
out, from the bottom of the stick pile.
Sick.
Okay. We're
I
gonna go to the next
100%
photo.
saw some torso.
Just a close-up of under
But-
those sticks.
Yes.
At
Excellent.
this point, counsel, I will caution and remind the jurors that obviously at some point these photographs will become more explicit as necessary for the state's case in chief. And I just remind you to observe them for whatever length of time.
That was
you
a
believe
temporary
is
thing due to a
necessary.
very
The
stressful
jurors
situation
do
I
their
was
job.
in.
If
But
anyone needs
I'm
a
very
pause,
content
we'll
with
be happy to
therapy
do that.
and learning to
I
cope
know
with my
Attorney
anxiety that
Brown
way. Okay, that's
or
good. I'm
other
happy to hear
counsel,
that.
if they're using any of these photos, will
I just know
alert
that
you
some
if the
people,
photo's going to change.
the
So if you have
medicating
diverted your gaze, you'll notice
is really nice. I'm glad to
Please
know that you know what works for you and that you're
Go to the
happy.
next photo.
That makes me
93.
happy to hear.
What are we looking at there?
That's the rope that was attached to the body.
Is the
Go to the
rope in
next.
the upper right-hand corner?
No, it's all throughout the picture there. I don't know if you can see it from your
Oh,
angle,
okay,
but
thank you,
it's all throughout the picture there.
thank you.
We'll
Kind
go
of
to the
coiled
next
up like a snake.
photo, which is 94. Now, we're briefly going to turn away, but what is that?
That's a garbage can.
And where was that in relation to the torso?
So in
I'm
relation
so
to
fucking psyched that the news
so this is
just
back up
does this
closer
and
to
I don't
the
have
top
to
of the
worry
hill.
about it. This is
Off to the right,
crocheting.
out of picture would be where the
The
boxes were.
patterns in crocheting and knitting are referred to
And
as
that tarp was
stitches.
out
It
there
can
around
be
the time you found
really
the torso?
confusing,
Or that-
Schwipzig. I'm
that-
so
that garbage
sorry.
can?
The garbage can
but
was there. There was
If you
the
see
tarp
just
was inside
one
there.
apparatus,
And then, is this a
typically
close-up?
that's
Is it gonna be
crocheting and
magnified?
it is a hook,
Yes.
right? And knitting is with two
Now, moving
needles
back,
that are
obviously,
like straight and
In
have a
96,
point
We're
to
back to
them.
looking at that pile of sticks, correct?
What is that? That's a garbage can. Just
Correct,
cracked
looking
me
at
up.
the
I
human
could see
torso
that.
underneath
It
the,
didn't happen for me, but like
pile
I
of
can
sticks.
understand why
Is
that
it a
would be
considerable
funny. Just like
pile
out
of
of
debris on top of the
context.
torso. If you could describe it any way you could.
You know, it wasn't natural to. It looked like it had been accumulated and placed on top. There wasn't another pile of sticks nearby. Similarly, It was mostly a collection of dead wood that was placed on top.
That is wonderful that you guys are
Next
sharing
photo.
not self-help, just
Number
help.
7.
That you guys are
Looking
sharing
at it from a different angle.
Yeah, and there you can see the
mental
belt with the
health
rope tied
help.
around the waist.
I like that. I'm for that.
So the rope was both off to the side, and you saw it around the waist.
Correct.
Number 98. What am I looking at there?
I wonder how Googleable these images are. If like
looking at the
these
torso,
ever got leaked
with,
to like Reddit or something. These
I
photos.
believe that's going to be the most obvious sign would be like the right shoulder with the arm severed off, the head missing.
Okay. We'll go to the next photo, which is 99. What are we looking at there?
You need to get a diagnosis and
The
meds
upper
for
shoulders,
ADHD.
of the back
Not
of the
me
torso.
googling. Oh please, please don't feel obligated to
Go to the next
Google that.
photo,
Anybody,
just
please.
What are we looking at there?
You can see the back of the torso.
Mental
and
health,
you see
fuck
the
yeah.
belt and the pants.
Hell yeah.
The rope tied around the waist. You see the back hair is pretty visible.
Now I know we're looking at these all at once, but
Yeah,
I think you
Bungie
mentioned
Fox
earlier
gets
on
it.
the way out to the property, knowing what you had heard, you'd already
It's
called
very
Dr.
hard
or
to get
you'd
a
already called
counselor unless
Barry
you go
Ehrman, who's the
private, and
director of the
medication
medical
is
examiner's
extremely
office.
uncommon for a
At
lot of
some
mental
points,
illness.
other people arrived during this
Unless
search,
you have
right,
a
from the
very
medical
good doctor
examiner's
who
office,
really
things
wants
of that sort.
to give you
Yes.
a dig out.
And
That's
while
really
we're looking at them all in
unfortunate to
one
hear.
group, there was a removal of the debris at some points over the torso.
Okay, it's awesome that they
kinda
are hiding
supervised by everyone
the
who was out
graphic
there,
stuff.
making
Yeah,
sure it was
I'm
done correctly.
very, very
Correct.
pleased
So
that
the next
they
photo,
are.
we're going to start to see
Because
what that looked like.
even
maybe
though I
after
know
seeing
that the
debris
images
was removed,
probably
okay?
wouldn't bother
We're gonna
me,
go to photograph 101 and just describe that if you could for the record.
Again, it's the
I don't
the
want
torso
to
we
just
found, however,
subject people
all the branches have been removed from the top of it.
to that. I wonder if they did that to prevent YouTube taking
Um,
action. I imagine they do it for the same reason that
that the
I
position it was
would
in after all the
do it
branches were
here,
removed?
is because I don't want to just like
Yes.
put that on people,
And
especially people
you
who
testified
like might
previously
think that
that
they can handle it and then see it
limbs
and then
were
realize that
severed
they
and
can't,
had,
and like we did trauma to
couple
them.
different
You know,
views
I
of that
never
exist
want
in
to be
terms of
responsible
photographs.
for that.
So we're going to go to exhibit
Ever.
number 102.
I feel like meds here are overprescribed almost. I was on so many that were
Yes, it is.
extremely addictive and made me so sick. It was awful. Yeah, Bumble Kitty store. We
anatomically,
anywhere that
see
Big
how
Pharma
it
has
is.
a toe
Is it
in,
facing down? If
you're
the
gonna
head
see
was still
over
present, would it be facing down? Are we
prescribing.
looking at
That like that's
versus back?
just real
Yes,
and
chest
gonna
would be toward the
happen.
ground at this point. Back is facing upward.
Okay. We're going to go to the next photograph, which is 103. And what is that?
Yeah, I
That is
really,
a,
really want to get a cross stitch beginner's
defect
kit, Bungie Fox.
the-
I
in the
really want to
back,
get
which would
into all of
indicate,
it. Because I
at least
just
from
relearned
the
how to
number of times
knit,
that I've seen it
and I'm
personally,
feeling a
that
little
the,
bit more confident in it. Like
there's
I'm
a
still
wound
not good by any stretch, but I'm not good at this either. I just do it.
Yeah, and I'm going to object at this point as to foundation and expertise.
I'll sustain. I think the description of
Do it. I can only do it if we hit the goal. I can't afford to spend
Sure. We'll hear from the medical examiner.
any money on this stuff unless we
I'm
hit
gonna
the
go back
goal.
one photograph to 102. Is that defect present in that photograph as well?
Yes, it is.
And if you could just again, you know how it works. With
Fun as
photos taken
fuck.
on record. Could you describe physically on the torso where that defect is on that person?
In the center of the back.
The very
probably
notions that paying doctors to do a thing will make them, if not as individuals, then as
8
a
inches
population,
above the
do
belt
more of
line.
that thing. Absurd, yeah.
So I'm gonna
6 to 8 inches.
understood. We'll go back to 103, which we've already looked at.
The way that shit
look at the
works
next
just
photograph.
makes me fucking sick.
104.
Like,
What are we looking at there?
legitimately, it makes me sick. It's making all of us sick,
Looking at,
actually. Fucking, I didn't
what
even
would be
think about the
the
wordplay
buttocks of the
happening
torso,
there. Ow, ow,
The
ow, ow.
belts,
Ooh, I'm having
and,
old people
the pants,
problems.
Which had been
Ooh, owie.
appeared to have been cut.
Sleep,
on
ninja!
the top left of the screen.
Thank you so much. I
Um,
appreciate you. Thank
as
you,
well
thank
as
you,
some
thank you. I love you,
staining,
thank you.
The Sleep
along
Ninja
the
Sparkler,
pants,
Sparkling Heart.
and the rope again tied around the waist.
Sounded like he said sparkling hot.
And we'll go
How's
to
the cost of
number
living in
105.
Canada?
Here we see
Comparable to
someone,
Iowa.
manipulating that clothing. Someone involved in the investigation, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. What are we looking at there?
You're looking at the upper portion of the pants where the
Hot sparkler.
what would be just underneath the back of the belt to where the pants meet that the fabric. had-
Never been to Iowa? No, but if you look at cost of living in Iowa, like if you Google those numbers, you'll be able to know comparably
Obviously, the torso needed to be removed
without having
from
to,
the area
like,
it was in and taken somewhere else.
Yes,
That was done
convert
by the medical examiner.
correct.
USD
Doctors
to
can
Canadian
help
dollars.
with that.
Yes.
In the process of doing that, part of what
Comparable
happens is
to
torso
the
is moved from
Midwest,
maybe
we'll
where it is
say.
onto
Does that
a
help at
bag
all?
or a sheet, something of that sort, right, for transport.
Try not to think about the cost of living here.
It would
Like,
be,
okay,
placed
literally
into
though,
a
people are finally
sealed-
starting to get it that it
in-
is
in my
getting
experience,
worse
every time
and
we've done it,
worse
it's
for
always
the
placed
working
into
class.
what
People
we
are
call a body
finally
bag.
starting to get it, but they're getting it too
sometimes different
late.
size bags
And
are
then there's
used.
still people that are
Yeah, it would be
actively
to
working
preserve
against
anything
the
that was
people
on
who
it
get it.
to transport.
Even though they
But in this
are
case,
working class,
yes.
they are
show
absolutely
next exhibit
fucking
106.
hypnotized
Is
by
that the beginnings of that process of
the
rolling the torso over? and
oligarchs,
moving onto a
if we're
more
being
surface?
honest with
Yes.
ourselves.
And now we're looking at the front of that torso.
I used to get paid in USD, and it was
Correct.
the bomb when I would convert it. Yeah. Does your Twitch not get
I'm gonna go
paid
to the last
in
exhibit,
USD? No
107.
fame,
After the torso was rolled over,
Justin. Do you want me to
some
call
of
you
us
No
found
Fame or
underneath it.
Justin when you're in here under the No
Black
Fame
iron.
podcast name?
correct?
Yeah, you could see it even when the torso, it was sticking out from underneath it. It was a black T-shirt. You can see the many maggots that were crawling around the shirt and around the wounds on the torso.
Justin is cool. Okay.
Judge, can we shut this off? Thank you.
Size in 15
couple
years of
questions
retail
about
work.
that.
Ah, minimum wage. Yeah.
And
We don't have a
you
general
said there
election
were
for another
some
2 years. We
maggots
need
and
one
things of that
soon.
sort.
Last
Were
election was a bit of
insects,
a turning point, but
and-
this
and the natural
current government is still
processes
somehow
beginning to
worsening a
become
dire
problem for
situation.
that
Yeah.
torso in your
Yeah.
observation?
It's
Become a problem for the
happening
In terms of the deterioration
everywhere.
of the torso, were there insects and things of that sort around?
Well, typically we'll call in a forensic entomologist.
Hi,
but
Mothman's cousin. How are
it's
you?
part of the decomposition process when any animal or any living tissue is exposed to the elements. Flies will come, they'll lay their eggs. Within a certain amount of time, those eggs will hatch into maggots, and the maggots will feed and begin to consume and continue on with the process of breaking down the body.
Also, I guess, yeah, fair enough. Fun fact, Ireland has never had a
We're
left-wing
coming to an
government in
end,
the
but
over
fair to
100
say
years.
that-
We've been a free republic.
Well, you may have been the first one to come upon this.
I
A lot
imagine
of people ultimately descended on this farm and got involved in the investigation.
that means a much
Yes.
different thing over there
And
than
in
it
fact,
does
We're probably going to hear from you again in this case, aren't we?
in America. I feel like
Probably, I would think so.
left-wing in America
I know
is
for the
still
questions for now.
right-wing for the rest of the world.
Nothing for now, thank you.
I imagine I'm probably
Maybe
pretty
it's the excuse, but
centrist
not really
to the rest of
yes.
the world,
Thank you
but
so
in America, I'm very far left-wing.
Attorney Brown,
I think it would be a fair place to break for lunch.
I think we can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a little early, but I always think that it's either better to be well before noon or afternoon. But I don't know what your plans will be. It is almost 11:20, and let's plan on being back at about 12:45 so we can start.
I will
shortly
fast
after
forward this
that.
soon. We're just like at the end of a row, so I'm gonna finish it really quick.
But I want to make sure you have enough time. If something causes you to run late that you run into, we'll be here, we'll wait. Thank you for everything this morning. And again, I remind you, leave what you have seen and heard here. Don't discuss it with anyone or over here or take part in any discussions or do any steps to research or learn any more information while you're away from the courtroom. And I hope enjoying some time. Thank you.
All right.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am, once again, James Langer, the digital content
Hi,
manager
Mr.
for
Langer.
Channel3000.com. We had just
We stand.
listened in this past testimony to one of the detectives who was first on the scene to kind of take a look around the farm where body parts were eventually found.
Oh, he sounds
so you might have
very
noticed we kind
shook.
of cut the video feed there as they were showing some of the more gruesome photos. That's part of an editorial decision our newsroom made, not to show anything too
I'm
gruesome,
actually
just
interested in
because,
listening
you
to
know,
this
somebody
now a
may
little
be
bit.
coming across these live streams, not expecting it, and we don't want that kind of showing up on their feed if they're not searching out this content. So we put that little slate up so you guys could still listen in and hear what they were describing. They all went into pretty great detail about what they were describing. So we just made that editorial decision that we didn't need to show that. So if you're wondering why you couldn't see the photos, that would be why. So just to recap, as they head to lunch a little bit early at this point.
They showed pictures of the bodies. We didn't see anything because luckily the
we
news
just heard from that detective
station took
who,
care of censoring it for us.
like I said, was one of the first people
And also, I
to
wouldn't show you
kind of
guys that.
go through that area after other
I
detectives
am
had
going to fast forward
talked
to when they come back, though.
the owners of the farm, and it kind of raised some red flags. And the detective that we just heard from said as he approached the property, he actually already saw vultures circling overhead of the woods, and that was immediately a red flag. He had the medical
he's
examiner's
explaining
office
everything
bring
that
up
you
the
missed,
cadaver dogs,
actually.
that kind of thing, and he
You
waited
saw
for backup,
everything?
essentially, before he started going through the woods. So what happened, according to him, is he
I imagine if you just Google search
and his,
Halderson
colleagues
Trial
followed the
photos
tracks,
or
tire tracks in
Halderson
the really
Trial
long grass
evidence,
back
you
in
probably
the
will
area
find it.
where,
And I
Crest
know I
and
can't
Dulce-
stop you guys from trying to find it, but I can stop myself from traumatizing people who aren't ready to see it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to ever... Savvy Doll, thank you for looking out for me. I will take another drink. Yeah, I'm just not going to, like... Even if it is on accident, I still am the one that's responsible for that. And I just don't want to do that to somebody who's not ready to see it. Now that we know that the news is on top of that, though, I'm not going to have to worry about it. So that's terribly exciting to me. I don't even know what Domina is, so I'm good there, too, probably. Ugh. Domina was a good little game. It was. It was a good little game. I really liked it. The dev is just a trash human being. Thanks, Channel 3000. You're our hero. Absolutely. I thought I saw a YouTube comment here, but not for a while. Sorry. Oh, babe. Babe's coming in purely to defend my honor, and it's the sweetest. And trash talk a white supremacist. To be fair. Okay. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I love you, babe. That's really sweet. You're sweet. Oh, God. That's so funny. You're very funny, and I love you a lot. Okay. All right. Are we all ready? Can I just get 5 readies in chat, please? Just 5. Sorry to rehash. No, it's so okay. I think that people... Okay, we got 5. I think that people deserve to hear about this stuff, and I definitely want to warn people that I want to apologize for... apologize for having propped up a white supremacist. I never want to do that on purpose. I am so upset that I did it on accident. I'm embarrassed that I didn't vet him better. And I take full responsibility for any person that was hurt by him because of me. I take full responsibility. I'm embarrassed. Okay, I am going to play this at double speed.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. James coming back, digital content manager for channel3000.com. We are just awaiting the jury coming in for the afternoon session after the lunch break. So We will stand by for that right now. I will duck out and see if we are able to stream yet.
Nice. All right. Oh, again, really quick, I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm not even going to ask for readies when we get back. That's how quick this is going to be. I just want to restate that right now, because of all of that drama, I do not feel safe posting my stream on Twitter when I go live. So I need to rely on you guys to find other avenues of finding out when I do go live, and to please tweet the stream for me. If you don't mind, it would help me out so much. But like, a lot of my reach comes from when I tweet out the stream. So it would be really, really sick if you guys would share the stream. I know that I ask you to do that sometimes anyway. That's me just asking you to be a bro. Right now, this is me like relying on you as my community to please help me out, because I don't want a bunch of white supremacists to come in here and harass me and harass you. So if you want to join the Discord, so that, because I will post in there every day when I go live. Or yeah, that's it. That's where I'm going to announce that I'm going live. But if you follow me and have the bell on YouTube or Twitch, they should tell you too. So that's another way. But like right now, I need your help getting the word out. They are watching my profile, so I can't do it, you know? I hope that makes sense, and I hope that's not too much to ask. Okay.
Case detectives, if you return to the stands. If you're still able and willing to testify without a mask, I won't engage in the question with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Quinn is my sole
So, Detective
YouTube
Sims, I assume your name
trooper.
is spelled the same as yesterday?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we won't go through that again. In the course of this investigation, were various warrants and subpoenas written?
Yes, they were.
And what is the purpose of a warrant or a subpoena?
Depending on the type, we're looking for records from companies or businesses. For example, cell phone companies.
No, not what we want. Jeez Louise.
Medical records, things of that sort.
Stop being a dingus.
Basically telling them they have to turn over whatever you wrote the subpoena
Just
for.
too old on the inside for Twitch.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
And were such
That is
records
fine.
written to a local health
I wonder how much
investment
COVID is all over that microphone. Probably a lot.
Okay. Specifically for
You
the
were born like
defendant's records.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you
Aw,
what has been marked
Justin,
as
that's so
Exhibit
sweet. Thank you so
494.
much.
What is Exhibit 494?
It is a subpoena and return for the UW Health records of Chandler Halderson.
And does that appear to be a true and accurate copy of that subpoena?
Are you guys planning a vacation in my chat without inviting me? What the fuck?
Yes, it
What
does.
the actual
At
fuck?
this time, I would move Exhibit 494 into evidence.
Yeah, same.
Objection.
Actually, I did not
And of
even
course, a
consider
lot of it
that.
is just legal mumbo jumbo, but
I'm
I
an
have,
idiot. I'm a terrible streamer.
noted
I'm an
with a
unprofessional.
pink tab there, a paragraph. It's on page 1347 of Discovery. For
I'm the
Counsel.
worst.
Would you just read to the jury this paragraph? What specifically UW Health was court ordered to provide your office with?
Sure.
I'm gonna look at
certified copies
Airbnbs
of medical
tonight.
records pertaining to Chandler M. Halderson, male white, date of birth 3/15/1998. More specifically, a complete copy of the official medical records to include outpatient notes, all discharge summaries, all pathology reports, and all clinic summaries, X-ray, EKG, and lab reports collected and created by UW Health pertaining to the Halderson's examination on or around June 17th, 2021, and any follow-up treatment as a result of a head injury.
All right. So you asked for the records for that day that he went into the ER, but also for any follow-up appointments.
That's correct.
Did you receive records from UW Health for the day he was seen at the ER?
Yes, we did.
Did you receive any records for any follow-up appointments?
We did not.
But they were court ordered to provide them. Had any follow-up appointments
Get to
occurred?
another country for like $80.
correct.
That would be sick. You can't even get flights from
I'm now
America
gonna
to
show you what
Canada
has
for
been marked as
$80.
exhibits 492 and 493. What are those two
I bet
exhibits?
not
What
even
is
the shortest
492
flight. I
first?
bet not even New York to like Halifax.
492 is a document from UW Health, including a certification of medical records from CIOX Health, and it is the health records from UW in regards to patient Chandler M. Halderson for treatment he received on June 17th, 2021.
And does that appear to be a true and accurate copy of what you received from UW Health in response to your court order?
Yes, it does.
And what is document 493?
Bumble Kitty Store. I like this
493
fantasy.
is
I am
a
willingly
CIOX
partaking in it
Health
with you right
certification
now.
of medical records for Chandler
It is my
Halderson,
happy place whenever
certifying
I
the
go
records
back
that we
to not
received.
streaming and living the
CIOX
drama that
Health
is happening
is
on
a records
Twitter.
management company that manages the records for UW.
That's just what I'm going to
So
think
they
about to
read the-
calm
they
down
are the
and
ones
be
who
happy.
receive the subpoenas and they output or answer the subpoenas and send.
What's your favorite
you
method
the
for deep cleansing a
court-ordered
tarot
records.
deck?
That's correct.
At this time, I would move
Personally,
exhibits
I think that
493 and
Windex does a
492 as
good job.
evidence.
I literally don't know what cleansing a tarot deck means. Shuffle it while thinking about
And
bleach.
I'm of course not going to put these on the overhead. 'cause
That's
they're very
my
small
favorite
print,
method
But I am going to ask on
for
page
deep cleansing a tarot
1207 or
deck.
page 10
That
of
and
medical
Windex.
records.
Those are my two favorite methods.
I'm going to ask that you just read this paragraph for the jury.
And which exhibit number
I'm
is
sorry, that is on 492.
Thank you.
I also, by the way, I feel bad. I feel like maybe that made a mockery of. I feel like
arrival, the patient
tarot
presented
cards are
as
a part
above
of
and was
people's religious
promptly
beliefs. I was
evaluated by
not
this
trying to
provider.
make fun of what people
VS,
believe. I was just trying to be
Victor
funny.
Sam
I'm
were
sorry.
reviewed, which were reassuring. Exam notable for midline C2, C3 tenderness to palpation. Patient was promptly provided a cervical collar. Obtain CT, head and CT cervical spine, both of which were negative. Given the patient remains with midline cervical spine tenderness, palpation was placed in a PMT, Paul, Mary, Tom, collar. Patient likely suffered a mild concussion. We did discuss signs or symptoms that would warrant immediate return to the emergency department, for which patient verbalized understanding. Patient was provided concussion protocol for home, in addition to prescription for Zofran for nausea. Patient and patient's father were in agreement with treatment plan, was subsequently discharged home. Stable condition with
Babe, if you can
neurosurgical
implement that
follow-up
in the
4 to 6
DoxyChat
weeks
Discord too, I'd
for
be
repeat
fucking stoked
evaluation
about
of
it.
his cervical spine.
Good night, Hacks Matt. I hope you have a lovely evening and sweet dreams.
I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Cross-examination?
Detective Sims, as far as a subpoena goes, that was directly to UW Hospital, correct?
2, 3, 4.
Can I look at the document again? It was UW Health. There's just multiple hospitals, UW hospitals and clinics.
And let me ask a better question.
Sure.
No other subpoenas to any other hospitals in Madison were sent out, correct?
That's correct.
Drink nightcap time, yum.
Any redirect?
No.
Detective, thank
I
you.
would
You
like
may return to
murder a dude for some beer right about now, but if I have a full beer, I'm 1,000,000% will have a hangover for at least a full day tomorrow. It does not matter if I drink more water than beer. Like, I react very
State
poorly
calls
to
Dr.
alcohol, and it gets
Myers to
worse
stand.
the older I get.
Just want to go to the gentleman in the gray jacket.
No, Doctor, that's how you wind up in one of these YouTube videos. No murder. I'm just saying that, like, If I could have my ability to drink back. I last had a hangover like 20 years ago. Oh my God. What's that like to be able to drink and not have a hangover?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I take it from your title you work in healthcare. If your preference is, and if you believe you should,
Lawrence, I
remain
hate
masked
to
while
hear that.
testifying, I have no problem with that. If you believe you can safely and responsibly not wear your mask and testify, I leave you that choice.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable removing it if that's the court's preference.
That is the preference, and that would be wonderful. Thank you.
I'm also going to ask that you move that mic a little closer.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Could you please state both your first and last name and spell
It's
them for the
almost
record?
time.
Absolutely. My name is Michael.
Start the third
Michadl,
game.
Lohmeyer, Lohmeyer.
Skine.
How are you employed?
Skeen,
I'm an
skine,
emergency
go,
physician
scum.
at the University of Wisconsin Hospital and Clinics.
Were you employed as such in June of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're an ER physician, so you have a MD?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. And I assume as an ER physician, you see lots of patients.
Yes, that's correct.
And I assume you do not remember all the details of every visit.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. So I believe it might even still be up there.
So this guy is Chandler's doctor, hey, that was looking after his spine injury.
Are they at the table? Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nice. One hefty beer and I hate life for 2 days straight. Yeah, I feel that, Justin.
So, doctor, would
It
it
sucks,
assist you
man.
to have a
Like,
certified
I
medical
definitely would not be able to
of
drink
the
like I
visit
used to.
with
I used
the
to get
patient
like
we're gonna discuss
embarrassing
today
drunk,
in order
like
to
a lot.
testify?
Yes.
And I could handle that
And I'm
and
also
like
gonna show you
even
what has
like
been marked
work
as
the next
Exhibit
day and shit like
491.
that. But
How would you identify Exhibit 491?
half a case of beer
This
and I'm
looks
just
like
tired
my
the next day.
CV,
I
my
wish.
correctional writing.
All right, and for
I
people that aren't
wish
in the
that's
science
what it was
or
like for me.
academia, is that a fancy way to
God,
say resume?
I'm nauseated all day. My head hurts
that includes
so
all
bad.
your
It feels like my
training?
blood is
That's
stale.
Where you went
Is
to
the
med
only
school,
way that I
other
can
trainings
really
you have
describe the just like
participated in.
general
correct.
nuckiness. I get a
Move
fever.
Exhibit 491 into evidence at
It's the
this time.
worst.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received.
I 1,000,000% Mothman's cousin.
So on June 17th,
I read that as I try to
2021,
smoke
did you in fact
crack.
see a patient
I
named
was
Chandler
like,
Halderson?
what?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Like, no,
Do
judge,
you have
but
any
wow,
income
you
then
are
before you
very
look at
forthcoming
the
with your
certified medical
not as
record? Do you have any
attractive habits, I
independent
guess.
recollection of that visit?
Prior to being contacted by the subpoena, I did not have any recollection of the visit.
Not as
feel free
typically
to,
attractive
review
traits.
and
I
to
imagine
look at
there
the
are some
certified
people that will
medical
only
record.
date people who smoke
I
crack.
think it's helpful for the court just to know if you're looking.
Oh man,
at
I miss
the
drinking beer
record.
and gaming with you. I miss that too, with anybody, but also like with
So
you
do
in
know about
particular. I
what
miss
time
that
of day you
too.
saw Mr.
It was
Halderson
fun.
on June 17th.
I believe it was around noon.
Okay. And what symptoms did he report, or where did he report to?
Now I have to smoke stupid weed.
I don't think I understand. Where did he
Sure.
report?
Lame.
Sorry. You work for the UW system. There's more than one UW hospital in
Yes, ma'am.
Madison, right?
Yes.
Prevention, drink
That
lots
day
of
I
water.
was
It doesn't
working out
help
at
me.
The emergency department. at
Crack the ultimate
the
hangover
UW
cure.
hospital at the American Center, also known as TAC.
Okay, and that's way out on the east side.
East side, correct.
And did Mr. Halderson present there in the ER?
Yes, that's correct. He self-presented.
Okay, and had you met him before this day?
I don't believe so.
Try
no.
eating a ton of
What
protein
symptoms
first.
did he present with?
I don't think I've
I
ever
believe he was complaining
tried that
of,
on
some pain
purpose
to his
ever.
head
Hi,
and
Cody
his right
Bookworm. How
ribs
are you? It's so good to
after,
see you.
A reported fall down some stairs.
Very few things in life beat crack. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I imagine
So
that
what did
would
you do in your treatment?
make you feel right
so,
better, super fast.
In the emergency department, we have an attending physician who's responsible for all patients that present to the ED. We also have a team of physician assistants who we work with. At that time, my physician assistant went and evaluated the patient first. He came up with a treatment plan. We discussed it. I evaluated the patient
I
afterwards.
cannot
and agreed on the
imagine
plan,
being
and then got some
allergic
imaging.
to fucking
Okay.
painkillers.
What
That would
imaging did
suck
you get?
so hard.
We got a
Because
CT
I
scan,
hurt
a CAT
myself
scan
all
of
the
his head,
damn
his
time.
AC spine, and cervical spine.
Because I'm a clumsy, stupid
What,
bitch.
if anything, did that imaging reveal?
Those images were reported as being negative without
Like a
abnormality.
villain who's a child.
Did you perform any other tests?
So he had a physical exam during which the PA and I both did an abbreviated physical exam looking for any signs of injury. We did discuss with the patient a potential X-ray
Kika.
of his ribs because he was having
Kitty,
some
kitty, kitty, kitty,
right-sided
kitty.
chest tenderness. At that
You guys hear
time,
my
the
cat?
patient declined the additional imaging.
He had a nightmare.
I think at
Woke
about that
up
time we
crying.
closed the encounter.
Did you run any other
Kika.
sort of tests,
Kitty,
such
kitty,
as
kitty, kitty,
blood
kitty, kitty, kitty.
tests or anything
What
like
are you
that?
doing, bud?
I would need to refer back. I don't recall.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that as a
Harassing Monstro?
Yes, ma'am. This looks different than the one we usually have.
Good night, Lawrence. Have a good one. Thanks for
Typically,
stopping in. Thanks for
we
your
will get
support.
some
Thank you
screening
for
blood work on
gifting
patients
subs.
as
You
well.
amazing, amazing
Don't have that
person. I
information
appreciate
in front of
you.
my mind. I'll have to review here quickly.
I hope you have
Well,
the
actually,
sweetest
let me
dreams.
just ask perhaps a more precise question. When somebody comes in with and self-reports a fall, maybe has some
Self-reported.
bruising, is there any test that you can do to determine yes, they have a concussion?
Chaz is
No, ma'am.
self-reporting.
Unfortunately, a concussion is a clinical diagnosis.
I just saw Chaz vent.
It's usually a rule out by testing for other conditions such as skull fractures, bleeding around the brain, things of that nature. When we don't find those, there's not really a good blood test or an imaging test that definitively diagnoses a concussion.
So if I showed up in your ER today and told you I fell, my head hurts,
I just
hit
can't go
my head,
over why you will lie about a spine
Would I
injury,
be
especially
diagnosed
when
with a
it comes to a murder. Like, as
A
if
head
they're not going to
injury
treat a
alone
murder
is typically not
investigation
enough to get a
with the
diagnosis of concussion.
seriousness that it
Usually there are
deserves
some
and
symptoms that
do
go
a
along
deep
with it.
dive into
I have
whether or not that spinal
photophobia,
injury you
so
claim
bright
to have
lights
is
bother me,
real.
loud
Yeah,
noises
I'm
bother
with
me,
you, Fanatical Fivers.
the
I'm on
computer
team
screen or
what the fuck
television
was
is
he
difficult.
thinking?
Sometimes people will complain.
Then
of
again, he's a
difficulty
murderer,
concentrating,
so
nausea,
it-
some
hard
of those
to
symptoms. So generally,
find
it is the
ourselves
combination
in
of
a
head strike
relatable
with some
mindset
other
to him, I
clinical symptoms
imagine.
or complaints that will give a diagnosis of a concussion.
And those symptoms, again, are self-report symptoms.
That's correct.
They're not symptoms that you can actually look at cells or look
Ooh.
at imaging and say, yep, you have nausea.
That's correct.
I bet that's nice. I'm just gonna be drinking
And
fake
what was
beer
the
on
ul-
Canada
after
today.
you did the imaging, what was sort of the
Canada
take-home
Day.
plan or continuing
Canada
care
Day.
plan for Mr. Halderson?
The take-home plan was conservative management. So we generally have patients with mild to moderate concussions
Oh
managed
no!
with,
Oh
Tylenol,
no,
ibuprofen,
guys, it's yarn
over-the-counter
chicken.
meds. Occasionally, we'll give a prescription
We can get
for
there.
an
We can get
antiemetic
there.
or an anti-nausea medication so that they can drink plenty of fluids and stay well hydrated. I believe for this
Oh,
case,
no,
the
we're
patient
not gonna
had
get
some,
there.
Residual neck pain.
That's the last
so he was
stitch we
given
can
a
do
collar
for
to go
sure.
home with for
Such a
support with
fucking
instruction to
bummer,
follow up
man.
with his primary care physician. and
One
with the
stitch
spine
on
team
this
that was on
row.
call.
Is it unusual for you to
One
hand out
stitch
a
on this
neck
row has to
brace
come
or
from the
neck
next
collar with
spine.
Somebody who says, "Hey, my neck is hurting."
No, ma'am, it is not unusual at all.
Take the last row
And
out
you
and go
said,
down a hook size for
diagnosis
it.
of a mild
That
or
is very
moderate
smart.
concussion. What
That
in
is
this
very
case did
smart.
you, diagnose
But,
Mr. Halderson with?
I believe he was diagnosed as having a mild concussion. And I
Hold on, let me
believe in
pause
the
and
notes
address
it
that really
reported him
quick,
as
Bungie
having
Fox.
just a
I
CHI,
think
a closed head.
I kind of agree with you, but there are a lot of people, like, we looked at the illness fakers community. We looked at the illness fakers community, and there's a lot of them that just fucking lie and lie and lie to doctors to try and become, like, wards of the state, essentially, with the way that they are, like, on welfare and, like, receiving donations and receiving attention and stuff like that. So I can understand why self-reported symptoms would be held in a lesser regard than observable symptoms. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know that's why the whole thing sucks. Yeah. It's such a fucking bummer because I feel like it sucks to go to the doctor and know that the doctor does not take your word on what is going on in your body, right? What is that disorder called where you make yourself seem sick? Are you talking about Munchausen? Because yeah, we call it munchies here because we have delved into a few of them. Really just one. We've done a deep dive into one, but like talked about a couple of others during that deep dive. Nice. You guys will never fail to find the least appropriate times to make me say nice. I think it's a fun little game you have going, and I think that you are geniuses, and I hate being the victim of it as much as I love how fucking hilarious you guys are. Anyway, okay, I'm going to be a very bad crocheter, and I am going to just talk about this really quick. I'm going to crochet in this end so that I don't have to weave it in later. I'm going to leave this one out, and we'll weave that one in a little bit. Mostly because you definitely notice if you crochet in 3 fucking yarn threads. Sometimes you can notice with 2. And when that happens, I always just go back and undo it. But I'm going to see if hopefully we can just weave this one right into our work. And by weave, I mean crochet. Crochet it right into our work along with our working yarn. I don't know if that's a habit that other people have picked up, if it's a bad habit or what, but I do it every time I can get away with it. I always just do invisible joins. I don't know what that means. I will have to look that up. But yeah, this is probably not a great... I always crochet my tails in. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. Like, you have no idea how happy that's made me. I just accidentally treble crocheted this, though. So, that's rough. Ugh, I have to, like, undo the whole thing. What a bummer. I'm so sorry, everybody. Hang tight for a sec. Where is this end? Oh, no. Okay, there it is. That's the only correct way to do it, in my opinion. I do it depending on the project. Okay, I love you guys. Doxy, they'll change your life for situations like this. I will definitely look them up after stream. 100%. You know what? We've been live for 2 hours and haven't taken a break yet. I think this is a really good opportunity for us to do that. Are you guys into a break right now? Everybody get up and stretch and stuff. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm actually going to go and put this on Josiah and see how much more length we want to add to it. In case fanatical fibers, I will 1,000,000% stretch. Just in case we don't want to do the whole skein, I probably will do the whole skein and sell it as an ultra long scarf though. All right. Everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. We can get back to work here. I'm sorry if I look gross, etc., etc. I just went and had Josiah try on the scarf to see how long it is, and it's not quite long enough for him. He's pretty tall. I think that he's taller than the average person, to be fully fair. But I still think that I want to make it long even for him. I want it to be long even for a tall person, because you can always wrap a scarf around more, but when a scarf is too short, then it's just annoying and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Anyway, hi everybody. How are you? Also, my Twitter ban got lifted since I agreed to remove. Actually, it's not even lifted. I still can't tweet or retweet or favorite things. I can only DM with people who already follow me. I don't think that anybody new can follow me. I'm not sure. But I agreed to delete the offensive tweet about a slap that happened. Fucking this world, dude, just blows my fucking mind. Like, it blows my fucking mind that we can show a person getting slapped, but me joking about slapping somebody gets me banned for 12 hours. Anyway, I can see Twitter again. I just can't really fucking interact with it. So that's cool. Really quickly, I want to let's go ahead and pause the music. I want to look up invisible ends or invisible joins. Does anybody have a good video that of like an invisible join tutorial? Also, Ella Bear, yeah, lurkers are super welcome. Yo, know that struggle? Not had many scarves just because they seem too short usually to me. Yeah, that's why I always make scarves extra long. I always do extra long scarves. I literally just came back to invisible joins. Yeah, I want to watch a tutorial on it really quick. Since we're here, we might as well. Is it the one where you like untwist and retwist it together? Is that what that is? Because I don't know how to do that. I've seen people do it and I've tried to do it and I always just fuck up my fucking... No? Okay, sick. Look, when was the last dope anime character design where the scarf was too short? Exactly. In general discourse, I posted a picture of a Lenny Kravitz scarf that I think would be funny to make. Oh, I bet you I know exactly what scarf you're talking about. That crazy oversized monster. I would love to make and have a scarf like that. I think that you need fabric for it, though. I don't think that like you can just like crochet that scarf, if I'm thinking of the right thing. Never. That's when. You're right. Yes, it needs to be able to flow in the wind after you have defeated your enemies. I was going to make coffee, but then I remembered I have to get up early for a doctor's appointment, so now I'm having tea instead. Compromise. Well, good on you for making that compromise. Now I want coffee. I only know invisible join in the round. Yeah, I don't know anything about invisible joins. I have no idea what we're talking about in regards to visible joins. It is absolutely fucking bizarre to me that this Twitter thing is still happening. That it is just nuts to me. They're still like trying, they're still harassing my friends. Like, why? God, I don't. Anyway, she was telling me she was too shy to chat. Wait. Oh, see you later, Dragon Rana. Thanks for hanging out. Safi, I think I missed. Oh! Oh, it's your wife! Hello, wife! You super do not have to say anything ever. I appreciate you being here so much. Thank you, Mothman's cousin. I'm going to bring this up on our current window here. And we're just going to watch it really quick. Yeah, it's only 1 minute and 46 seconds long.
In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the magic knot. This can either be used for changing colours or just connecting the same colour together, because you might be going from one yarn skein or ball to another. So first of all, I'm going to use two.
She says
colours,
skein.
so it's easier for you to see. And you're going to take your working ends. So first of all, if
Got
you
'em.
start on this side, you want to bring this end underneath and then over the top. So you have a little loop like this.
Okay.
You're then going to bring that through the loop, and that's going to create a knot, and you just want to pull nice and tight on that knot. You're then going to come to the other side, and you're going to bring this over the top and underneath.
You don't just tie it twice, do you? Because I can feel that in a project every time.
And then you're going to bring this through that loop.
I don't know if I'm just not good at it.
Make sure that both of these knots are really nice and tight. You're going to pull on both ends, and that's going to bring the knot together in the middle. Then what you want to do is take your scissors, and you're going to snip off the yarn really close. Won't come undone, I promise.
Yeah, I can always feel those. I think that's absolutely true. I don't think that we can use this technique for this project, unfortunately, but I think I am going to try that with finer yarn. You guys will see in this video that I'm editing right now that I'm going to be putting up on YouTube like so soon. I know I keep talking about it and not fucking doing it. I'm sorry. But I will be showing you guys this granny square that I made out of this very fine silken like sock yarn. Also, I did not fix this. Is everybody ready to go back to court here? Can I get just 3 readies in chat? We have a lot less people than we did earlier. Skine, skane, skeen. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, be welcome, and don't feel obligated to chat if you're not uncomfortable. We're just happy to have you watching. Exactly what Sperry said. I use it in worsted weight sweaters constantly, but I also use a slightly different method. But if you can feel that knot, you'll feel the other. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think maybe I just suck at getting the knots tight enough, but I can always feel those. To be fair, though, I'm always looking for if I can feel them. I'm trying to be more social, so I start here. You chose a fucking phenomenal place to start. I have the sweetest, most supportive community, Ella Bear, and now that you're one of us, you are going to be treated like family, so... that means we're not afraid to call you on your shit if you're an asshole, but we're also not going to let people be an asshole to you. So please feel as comfortable as you can, and we'll take good care of you, okay? I imagine that if you're married to Sappy Doll, you're not an asshole at all, so I think you're pretty safe. Okay. Here we go. I saw the readies. I apologize. One of us. Yeah. Google gobble, Google gobble.
Injury, so a non.
We share book recommendations and anxiety med tips. Like if that doesn't say everything about your community, you know?
Whether or not he had taken anything for the pain he was.
Hi, sweet Kika.
I do not recall that information off the top.
Hi,
of my
baby
head.
kitty.
I have to review the notes.
Do you mind reviewing the notes?
I'm gonna get my cat on my lap really quick. Hi, bud. Come here. Come here. Come on. Let's just do this, okay? Let's just get it over with. We know that how this is gonna end. I don't want to do it the bloody way. My blood, not his, I promise. Hi.
So
It's his
I
claws.
do not have that
Come
information
here.
in my addendum at the bottom.
Come
He
here.
may have reported that information to either the nurse or the PA who saw him, but I did not personally take any of that information.
Okay, thank you.
Keith.
And you said you
Come here.
provided a neck collar.
Come here.
What instructions, if any, did you give him concerning that neck collar?
Yes, ma'am. So when we have someone with persistent pain but negative imaging, they go home with what's called a PMT collar. It's a soft collar that gives support to the head and the neck. And in general, they're instructed to follow up with their primary care physician and a spine physician
Oh,
if
no.
they're continuing to have pain or symptoms, generally
Just
in a
knocked
4
over
to
my
6 week
water.
period. I will say that many times patients have improvement of their symptoms.
Mika, you're a
before, so
nuisance.
they'll
Look at all the
self-limit
trouble
their
you're
collars,
causing.
and They may or may not present later for follow-up.
At any point, did you give Mr. Halderson directions
you.
that he had to wear it for a certain amount of time?
I did not specifically give him that information, no.
Okay. At any point in time during your visit with Mr. Halderson, did you tell him he was going to experience paralysis?
No, ma'am.
At any point during your time with Mr. Halderson, did you tell him that he had a brain bleed?
No, ma'am.
At any point during your appointment
And then a
with Mr.
sheep named
Halderson,
Dave.
did you
I'm
at
here
any
for
point
that.
tell him that
Can I
he
share a
had
link to a
brain
TikTok
aneurysm?
that has a tighter, smaller knot? It's a little difficult to
At
figure
any
out at
point,
first,
did
but
you
I
tell
love
him
it.
that he
Also,
had
look up
nerve
Russian
damage?
invisible knot. It's mostly
don't
smooth.
believe so, no.
I think Russian invisible knot
At
is the
any
one that I
point,
was
did you
thinking
tell
of.
him he had a spinal injury?
Absolutely share
No, I don't
a link
believe
to
so.
that TikTok. I just won't be
At
able to
any
watch it
point,
on
did you
stream.
advise him that he should not fly in an airplane?
We do also need a Kevin McAllister after the Home
At any point,
Alone
did you tell him
character.
that he should not drive?
I don't believe so, no.
Kevin
At
and
any
Dave
point, did you ever
McAllister.
say that he shouldn't drive long distances?
No, ma'am.
I'm
At any
definitely
point, did you
definitely
tell him
going
that
to
he
watch
had
this later.
hematoma in his brain?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Thank you
At
so
any
much.
point,
I
did you
appreciate.
tell
Oh,
him
shh!
that he
Stop!
would have an
Shh!
inability
Pause!
to use his
Oh my
legs
God!
in a
Stop!
manner?
This is a
My computer is the
way
worst.
to-
At any point, did you
I did it.
tell him
We're good.
because of his mild concussion that he was going to have a
I promise
colostomy
it's safe,
bag?
and I totally trust you. I just can't set up a
And just to
fucking
be clear, that's a
screen
bad
region for it on the fly.
Correct.
At any point in time,
I super
did you have
trust
to
you.
drill a hole into his head?
I would not let you share the
At
link
any
if I
point in
didn't.
time, did you tell him that he was going to have surgery where a hole would be drilled in his head?
No, ma'am.
At any time,
No
did you
further
inform Mr.
questions.
Halderson that the medicine you prescribed has a homicidal rage listed as a side effect?
Hello.
I don't have a lapel mic, so I'm just going to stay seated. If that's
Funny.
okay with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you did diagnose Chandler Halderson with a mild
I appreciate you
concussion,
very
right?
much, Bardic
That's correct.
News.
And you can diagnose someone with a concussion even though the imaging didn't show any abnormalities, correct?
That's correct.
When you diagnose someone with a concussion close in time to when the injury or the hit to the brain happens, symptoms can either improve or get worse after that moment in time, correct?
That's correct.
Dave and Kevin
So
are
when
brothers.
they
I'm here
leave
for that.
the ER, sometimes people get better.
We could just
sometimes
introduce people to them.
experience ongoing
Be like, oh yeah, this is the McAllisters.
Yes, ma'am.
We could talk
When
about them
Mr.
without
Halderson
telling
was
people that they're
leaving the
goats,
ER,
just
he was
like
given a
openly
sheet of
at
instructions
bars
of
and be
things
like,
to watch
ugh,
for.
remember that time the
I
McAllisters
believe
got
so,
into the
yes.
garbage and ate all of those apple
On that
cores?
sheet would have
Gross.
been things such as blurred vision, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Fucking dumb. I'm
Increasing,
stupid. Never listen
pain
to
in
me.
the head, increasing headaches, correct?
Yes.
Weakness in his extremities, correct?
Yes.
And you wouldn't know whether these things actually happened or not unless the patient reports back to you, correct?
That is correct.
But he would be told to be on alert for these things if they happened, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And to generally rest and avoid
There we go.
stimulation in order to improve his concussion symptoms, correct?
That is correct.
Things like avoid
The Port
bright
Defense
lights,
really trying here. Yeah, I feel really
yes,
bad
ma'am.
for this woman.
screens,
Yes.
um,
I'm gonna
video
just
games,
weave this
things
in
like
super
that,
quick.
correct?
That's correct.
And really, one of the treatments for a concussion is just to sit in a, darkened room and really not do anything with your brain, correct?
Rest is generally one of the recommendations, yes.
Now, as a result of his visit,
He is
did
so fed
prescribe
up with
him
this
some
shit,
medication,
this doctor.
That is correct.
for nausea.
Yes.
And what was that?
It's a medication called ondansetron. It's also known as Zofran. It's an anti-nausea medication.
He had reported feeling like he was going to throw up, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And that's why you would prescribe him that medication.
Yes, ma'am. It's also to help prevent dehydration. So sometimes people will get dehydrated, their headache will get worse, and so we like them to stay hydrated. So sometimes it's a preventative measure as well.
And just to be clear, when someone reports that they have a headache,
Doing the worst weave-in job of all time
as
with
Ms.
my
Raymond
friends
asked you,
watching.
there's no test, blood test,
Pretty
or something
cool.
like that can confirm what the person is
Who
telling
is Chandler Halderson and what did he do?
I
He
don't
murdered
believe
his
so, no.
parents.
Now, when he presented in the ER that day,
Where you were the
let me
night
to ask you what this means.
That I wouldn't put it
Remains
past
with
this defense,
midline
straight
cervical
up.
Spine tenderness palpation.
Your
What do
Honor,
those
it
words
is
mean?
the intention of
So
the
as part
defense
of
to
the physical
prove
exam,
that this
when we are
doctor
examining a patient, we will
killed
actually
his
press
patient's
on the,
parents,
spinous
dismembered
process
them,
over the middle of their neck. He
and
had
deposited their
tenderness
body in
on
several
presentation,
locations
which was a
relevant
big
to
part of
the
reason why
wit
we
or
got
the
CT
defendant.
scan to begin with. And on reassessment after the negative imaging, we reassessed the patient. He still had persistent pain in the midline there, which is not a direct
Fucking
indicator
hilarious,
of an
Quinn.
injury, but it does say we should keep the collar on for safety.
And when he left with the collar that day, you testified that there was no set time he was supposed to wear the collar, or you didn't give him a set number of days to wear the collar.
See you later,
Is
Sleep
that
Ninja.
right?
Have a
I
good
don't
night.
believe so, no.
See you
The
soon.
instructions were to follow up with his primary care physician and with our spine doctor.
And that was in 4 to 6 weeks?
Generally, that's the time frame that they recommend. I can't recall specifically for this case, but I generally encourage patients to call if they're continuing to have any symptoms after they go home.
That's it, thank you.
Redirect.
Just a couple quick questions. Doctor, with self-report symptoms such as nausea,
I really wish you would
headache,
stop saying self-report though, because
information
all
you
it
receive
makes
from
me
the
think
patient
of is
only as
fucking
good as the accuracy
Among
or
Us.
honesty of that information?
I'm not sure that I totally follow the
I missed
question.
one. I
Sure.
missed a stitch
If a
somewhere.
patient lies
How did
to
that
you
happen?
and says, my arm hurts or my head hurts, is that information
I missed it
useful
right here.
to you if it is in fact a lie?
The very beginning.
I tend to take my patients at their word. I think that if I get into trying to second guess them, it gets to be, my job gets too complicated. So when patients present symptoms, I generally take them, unless I have something to prove or disprove, I take them at their word.
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
My
But
stupid face is in the way.
my question is not how
I
you
miss Among Us in a
interpret
weird
the
way. Me
As
too.
far as
Among Us was
scientifically
very
or
fun.
medically accurate,
I
is
would
it only
definitely play
valuable
again.
as much as it is true?
I don't like it on stream as much. It's kind of
Yes,
awkward
I
on
assume
stream.
that it's true, and that's how it's medically relevant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I would
May the doctor
definitely
be
play.
excused
Oh,
and
fuck.
released. Yes. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to
Excuse me,
reweave
Mr.
that.
Keenan,
I did a
released from the
shitty
same.
job, and I
Thank you,
knew I
Mr.
did a
Keenan. Thank
shitty
you.
job.
Thank you.
State calls Catherine Mellinger.
Oh, I'll take those. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Go with that gentleman in the gray coat right there. Doctor,
Bye, Kika. Love you.
take her.
5. The doctor is going to quit after this, right?
Thank you. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Sorry. Ms. Melander, first, let me ask you, because I was preoccupied, I didn't hear. Did you verbally answer yes to the oath?
Yes.
Thank you. Secondly, are you in a position where you believe you can safely and responsibly testify without wearing a mask?
No.
You need to wear your mask in order to believe you can protect yourself from the virus and
Yes.
safety concerns. All right, then I won't force you to not I won't force you to take off your mask if you believe that is true.
Thank you.
All right.
You work in the healthcare field, do you not?
I do.
Okay.
Could you please state and spell your name for us?
Catherine Melander, Cathryn, Melander, Mellender.
And
you to grab the base of the
I keep waiting for the defendant to shout blood.
Because the fans are on. That creates a level of noise. Your voice is on the softer side, and you have a mask, so
Okay.
being up really close to it will make sure we can all. Thank you.
you go by Kat, correct?
Correct.
Can I call you Kat today?
Yes, please.
Okay. Kat, how old are you?
I'm 21 years of age.
And do you live here in the Madison area?
I
do
am
live in
on
Madison
Team
area.
Doctor.
And
TBH.
do you know someone named Chandler Halderson?
I do.
How do you know Chandler?
We were in a relationship.
At this point, something's going to happen. The judge is going to ask everyone out here to lower their mask, and I'm going to ask you if you see Chandler in the courtroom. It's one of the strange things we're going to do. So the judge will go.
Don't say anything until everybody has remasked. If everyone can lower their masks for a count of 3, 1, everybody within the courtroom, except in the jury box, 1, 2, 3, replace your masks.
Is Chandler in the room here today?
Yes.
Can you tell me where he's sitting and describe what he's wearing?
It's over there with a blue tie and a blazer.
I'd ask the record to reflect identification of the defendant.
It shall, thank you.
When did you first begin your relationship with Chandler?
In August 2019.
And how did you meet?
We met through a friend.
What was Chandler, what was going on in
I'm
his
just
life when
doing
you
a
first
shitty
met?
job again. Why am I doing this to my poor project?
He was attending college. He was living at home and preparing to move into an apartment. Dog sitting quite often.
And where were you in life? What were you up to when you first met back in 2019?
When I first met Chandler, I was going to school as well, part of Student Senate, doing shows in the theater department.
What types of things did you and Chandler do in your relationship? Did you go on a lot of dates together?
Good enough.
Yeah,
Good
we
enough for
would
me.
grab dinners, have movie dates, just sit at home and watch movies.
Okay. Sick. We're good to
Go
move
on
on.
walks
Finally.
quite often. Play with the dogs. That was a big thing. We loved playing frisbee with the dogs.
I want to play frisbee with a
Start
dog
shows together.
right now.
Around
Yeah, she
2019 and
she's
2020,
very pretty. I can't see the bottom half of her mouth. This is okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm pausing. I have to say a thing that makes me very aware of how terrible of a person I am. Okay? I feel so selfish and terrible thinking these fucking thoughts, but I think them. I'm going to say them. Why do people keep watching Sex Pests when they could watch me instead? Why? Okay, sorry. That's it. I feel like it's a similar sentiment that me and you are having, Quinn. Okay. All right. Here we go.
By calling each
Sorry.
other, or were there other
I'm a bad person.
We would talk on Snapchat, text, FaceTime, and call quite often.
Would you also, so it's text, Snapchat, call, FaceTime?
Mm-hmm.
Would sometimes you start communicating about a subject on one and then switch to another and then switch back?
Yes.
Fair to say you communicated or you texted a lot with Chandler?
Yes.
And you've seen in this case.
I would testify against my ex in court. Same. I would testify against anybody who fucking killed their parents. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I would testify against my active partner.
Chandler's family?
Yes.
Look, I love him. I forgive him, but he did it.
Did you know Mitchell?
I did know Mitchell.
Tell me about your relationship with Mitchell.
I would hang out with him at the family events, be it like a dinner or for the holidays. We had a game night at his home once with Caitlin and Chandler and myself. Usually see him during family events.
I forgot to switch my stitch.
How did you know Bart Halderson?
I knew Mr. Halderson through Chandler. I would be at their home quite often, and he would he would show me fishing tips, or if I was cooking, him and Mrs. Halderson would be in the kitchen, and we would have game nights quite often.
Oh,
And we would also play Mario Kart.
this poor girl, she loved them. Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to call you Fanatical Fibers? I feel weird saying all of that. If you want me to, since I know your name, do you want me to just call your name? If you want me to just call you Fanatical Fibers, I'm happy to do that. Because take branding where you can get it, right?
Text often about what we're doing in our lives, and
It's about what
the
you
dogs
want.
and Chandler.
I want what you want. If you want me to call you Fanatical Fibers in case like
about recipes and food.
a clip ever goes viral where I say your name or whatever,
Something from my culture.
happy to do it.
She would always be excited, and we talk about it, and always talk about game nights and wanting to do a girls' trip to Disneyland together with her, I, and Caitlin.
You texted often with
Fanfi, I love
Yes, I did.
that.
Positive relationship, a good relationship?
Yeah,
Did you like her?
I did like Miss Halderson a lot.
Did you like Mr. Halderson?
Yes, I did.
You were over at the Halderson home quite a bit?
Very often, yes.
And that's over in Windsor, Oak Springs Circle?
Yes.
That's fine. I'll sure. Whereabouts?
Leading questions.
We'll withdraw the question and I'll ask it again. Whereabouts did the Haldersons live?
They lived in Windsor. Past that big church. I don't know the road of it, but it was past the big church, right by a pond.
When you were over at the house, did you mostly stick in one spot, or did you kind of treat it like your own home, go wherever you needed to go?
I would go wherever I needed to go within reason.
Back in June of this year, just before maybe everything that we're going to talk about happened, were you over at the Halderson home and had an occasion to maybe go in the basement?
Yes.
Why did you go in the basement while you were over there?
I went into the basement to grab ice cream and soda to make root beer floats with Mr. and Mrs. Halderson in Chandler.
And this is sometime in, when is it?
June.
And why were you going to the basement to grab those items? Where were they? They were in the basement?
They were in the basement in the freezer.
Okay. The Haldersons had a freezer in the basement?
2.
There's leading questions going on.
I'll sustain. Go ahead and phrase carefully.
Tell me about what freezers the Haldersons had.
They had a chest freezer and then a tall one, kind of like a fridge, but it was just a freezer.
And did you have an occasion ever to go in the chest freezer?
Yes.
And what types of things were in there?
Mostly fish, specifically salmon, veggies. Sometimes they'd keep ice bags in there.
Was it full?
Yes.
The other freezer, did you have occasions to go in that on occasion?
Just once.
Okay. And was it being used in full?
Yes.
Is there a screen on in front of you right now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 21 has been received into evidence in this case.
Good night, Bardic Muse. Sweet
We went
dreams.
too far, Judge. There was a happy medium there in the second.
No, that's what we discussed. Is the Elmo gainful? It's the
Why do they insist on the
There's a little bit of a
projector
glare on
instead
that,
of
but
the
is that,
screens?
look to be the
Embrace the
Haldersons basement
technology,
or something
dude.
else?
Yes, it's the Halderson basement.
And that chest freezer that's open right there, is that the chest freezer that you had been in previously?
Yes.
And was it full when you saw it in June?
Yes.
Was it sitting like that open when you saw it last?
No.
Was it in that general location when you saw it last?
Yes.
In your relationship with Chandler, was there a lot
It's
of
entirely
discussion
possible
about
that because it's evidence, the people handling the live streaming aren't allowed access to it. We were able to see it on a screen earlier, Sperry.
Was it
And it was
important to you
dope.
that
It looked so much better. It didn't
whoever
have
you were
that
dating
god awful
have a
glare.
job or going to school or something?
Yes.
Can you tell me why that would be important?
Just think being self-sufficient. It's either in school or working.
I think I genuinely,
In 2020,
I
and this
genuinely
year, in
just think that this
2021,
judge is kind of a boomer.
last year,
He's
was Chandler
perfectly
going to school?
pleasant, but I think he's just
Yes.
kind of a
Did he
boomer.
talk about that with you?
Yes.
What did you know about where Chandler was going to school and what he was doing?
He was taking classes online through MATC for UW, and it was for an
Savvy doll,
IT
I'm
degree.
super picky about seafood.
Would Chandler talk
Some
about
of
it
it
at
I
school?
fucking love, but most of it I do
Often.
not love.
What kind of things would you talk about?
When we'd have tests or homework that we were doing.
Going into in this year, did he ever show you any?
Also,
sort of
yeah, I
work
come
he was
from
doing for
Iowa.
school? Any projects, things like that,
He showed me some coding he was doing once.
for a class?
I like sushi.
You said he was going on,
But
did Chandler ever
very,
physically
very
do something?
Americanized, deep fried tempura with cream cheese and a fruit sauce kind of sushi, though. That's the
don't
only
remember.
kind. Otherwise known as white people sushi, because I
This spring,
am not
this summer,
exotic
prior to everything happening, did you believe
in
Chandler
any
was
way.
going to ATC?
Yes.
Did you ever see his grades? Did he ever share his grades with you or transcripts or anything like
Not
that?
fair, not far from where you grew up.
No, he didn't
Yeah.
show me.
Do you know how close he was to graduating?
So I think that we have an
One
understanding.
class away, I
I
believe.
think that I probably empathize with you better than most people here. Crab Rangoon
Did
is
Chandler
fucking
ever talk
incredible.
about, him working with the police at all, with scuba diving or anything like that?
I don't like salmon is too fishy for me. Salmon is not mild enough for
With
me.
the DNR.
Sure. Tell me about that.
I love
Um,
flounder.
he told me he would
Tilapia,
scuba dive
also
for the
very
DNR,
good.
and then
I
sometimes
like
help the police
calamari,
through
but
the
I
DNR.
have
Did he say what he would
recently
do for them
decided that I won't
specifically?
eat cephalopods. They're
Scuba
too smart. I
diving,
think that it's akin to eating a
work in the lakes
monkey.
for stuff.
Like that's not.
Was this like
It's
a
not
job
ethical
or a
to
volunteer
me.
thing? What was your understanding from Chandler?
Honestly, meat eating isn't ethical to me,
believe it was
but
a
right
job.
now my
And did he
capabilities
have
do
this job
not
the time you were dating?
allow me to not
During the
eat
summer.
eat meat.
Were there ever times where Chandler
Eventually,
would
though, I would
go
really
that
like
job
to
as
give
far
up
as
meat.
you
We
were,
live
you just
in
schedule
a time where murder is not necessary.
come?
Death is not necessary
He would just
for
tell me
life.
He had to be on call days, and we couldn't hang out those days, or
So I feel like it's our
He would only
obligation
have
to
select time
take it
to hang
upon
out, or else
ourselves
he'd be on
to
call.
So there'd be times you
live
couldn't
by
hang
that,
out because he would say he
right?
was on call.
But don't
How
give me
often did that
props
come up in your
on being a good person because I still don't fucking do it yet. Same, but I'll eat a damn pencil if you deep fry it. It's the great American culinary equalizer. The Iowa State Fair. Well, Doxy, I have some great but gross news for you. You've almost certainly never eaten any cephalopod-based calamari. Do you think? Really?
I don't remember.
But it came up.
I feel like Darden is really
Did you ever see
particular
Chandler
about
with
their
any sort of scuba
ingredients.
diving equipment,
And I
oxygen
worked, like, I
tanks,
mostly had
flippers
calamari
that
at
people
Olive
put on, anything
Garden.
like that?
But, like, maybe you know a bunch that I don't know.
Did you believe he worked at this dive team job back
Yes.
at that time?
I love calamari.
Yes.
I love calamari.
At some points in the past year and a half or so, did Chandler get a job with American Family Insurance?
Yes.
And what did Chandler tell you about that, or what did you know about what he was doing?
That it was an internship to help graduate.
I like
from
imitation
school,
crab.
And he would be
I like
doing,
real crab better.
stuff with solar panels.
But I like
and
imitation crab.
Laying up plans for companies, going through American Family and such.
So
Okay,
in
Quinn,
internship,
I'm
was it
excited to
actually a
see.
job or something else, like where you got paid.
A paid internship.
This poor girl is going to have trust issues forever. Oh, absolutely.
Did he ever show you any of his work that he was working on?
He showed me a plan on a whiteboard that he was drawing up.
When you say a whiteboard, what do you mean by that?
Like a whiteboard that you hang up in your home or see in school.
Okay. And what was on that whiteboard that he was showing you, if you remember?
A building and where they wanted to place the solar panels and how it was by a highway, so it would be a safety hazard for the direction they want to point it in because of the angle the sun could be blinding the drivers.
Did you seem excited about this project when he was talking to you about it?
Yes.
Did Chandler have any issues with pay at American Family Insurance and getting his paychecks?
Yes.
Tell me what you know about that from Chandler.
I agree with that, Mothman's cousin. Absolutely.
There was something going on with who American Family would go through.
Oh no, Bumble Kitty store, that sucks.
The check went to the wrong address and then it had to be canceled, and then he tried setting up for direct deposit and something happened with that, and then the amount that they had to pay him was too much, so they didn't believe they owed someone that amount of money, and then it just wasn't getting to him.
Because of this issue or maybe others, were there times in your relationship where it didn't seem like Chandler had a lot of money?
Yes.
When you all went out to get food or something along those lines, would it be more common for you to pay or for him to pay, or how would that work?
For me to pay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the woman being the breadwinner, even remotely. And I kind of feel like Chandler was
Do you know approximately kind of
suffering from
the time
something.
period Chandler was working at American Family Insurance?
And I don't judge him for that
Believe
at all.
January until
I do judge him for killing his parents.
Kind of the same questions before the MATC and asked you about transcripts. Regarding American Family Insurance, did you ever see any documents, pay stubs,
Well, I'll
contracts,
let you listen to
HR
that.
stuff? Anything
Oh
with, like,
no,
the
I'm
logo
kind of
there?
scared now.
Kind of around Chandler or in his bedroom or anything like that?
I did not.
And in that time period, you were dating 2020 and 2021. While he said he had this job, did you believe he was working at American Family Insurance?
Yes, I did.
At some point going into 2021, so just last year before the summer, did it appear that Chandler had gotten a new job or was in the process of getting a new job?
Yes.
And where was that job at?
The company or the location?
What was the company?
SpaceX.
So what's going to happen now is the attorneys and I are going to talk to the judge for 1 second. So some weird white noise is going to come on. It'd be a good second to take a drink of water if you want, but it's going to be about 1 minute, okay?
I guess that goes for us too. Of course she did, because who lies about working at American Family? Yeah, agree. Agree. Man, this makes me so scared. Like, if I end up having a kid or adopting a kid or whatever someday, end up being the mother of a child that is a NEET, I'm going to be terrified. And like, what if I don't even know that they're a NEET because they lied to me about having a job at American Family Insurance? That's very scary to me. That too, but last time I brought up that point, I got yelled at for speaking over Indigenous people, so I just speak from my own experience now. Wait. Yeah, I do feel like as long as you're not harming the animal population, as long as you are not, I don't know. There's obviously some nuance to your opinion on like hunting and meat eating and stuff like that. I definitely agree that you shouldn't, like, in places where they have to call in the sharpshooters and like do a deer culling and stuff like that. I absolutely agree that food should be given out to people, or should be used to like pay the sharpshooters or whatever. Like, I can understand that. But I feel like it's our obligation as humans, now that we know how to make like meatless meat, and we know how to have a healthy plant-based diet, it's kind of our responsibility to make sure that we're not harming other species in order to just be able to say, yum, that's tasty. You know what I mean?
On a call?
Did you have an interview?
Yes.
I want to show you what's been marked as in this case as Exhibit 506. But I want you to look at that for a second, and just quickly, you'll notice.
Did this poor girl have to look at the dead torso
exhibit before, correct?
of the mother-in-law? Not quite. We need a name for it.
Chandler
Her partner's fucking parents that she like loved.
Hubby.
And that's just something you would call him.
Yes.
Okay. But are these messages with Chandler and you, looks like back in May of this year?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the first one that Chandler says?
I have a good feeling about SpaceX.
Quinn, I don't think so. I do, like, I know that sharpshooters have to come in to Iowa once every few years because the deer population
just real
gets
quick,
out
it's the
of
first
control.
one that we're going to do that looks like this.
Like, hunting is necessary. Humans are a large part of the Earth's ecosystem as a whole. If everyone stopped eating meat, it could be catastrophic for the ecosystem.
Correct.
I feel like we are definitely smart enough to figure that shit out. Again, let me say, I had spaghetti with hamburger in it.
So we're going to try to get the lighting
tonight.
Just right.
Like, I eat meat. Like, I'm not
so
trying
in the blue
to
here,
like
that's
say
Chandler,
that I'm perfect or
Correct.
that you guys are
Good feeling about
imperfect
SpaceX,
even.
and if we're looking at it,
I don't know.
on these messages.
Also, did I nice for Sugar Mama? I don't know if I did. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Nice.
It's a bit hard to see. We're at the 23rd of May of 2020.
I just think we know how to do
proud
it.
Of you? What does Chandler say there?
Thanks. I hope I get a job.
And you say, me too. In general, were you hoping Chandler got this job?
Agree,
Yes.
Sperry. Yeah, that's just true.
He seemed excited about it. A lot of pay.
A lot of pay. Did Chandler ever tell you how much money he'd be making at SpaceX?
Around 800,000.
800,000?
Sorry, I apologize. 80,000.
80,000? Okay. So after you say me too, we're still on the 23rd, he says, I'll be happy.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. I let my tension
you
get a little tight there.
I'll
I
be
was
very
so
happy
scared
for
it
you
was going to
too.
squeak.
You'll get the money you want, the job you want, right?
The deer were getting out of control, as you said, so they allowed anyone with a hunting license to hunt extra deer during the hunting season, but the condition was that the hunters would donate
We talked a little bit, and we're going to flip
the extra
through some of these
carcasses to the
that maybe
city,
aren't super
which
relevant, as we
butchered the
talked about in
carcasses for
text a
deer
lot.
meat to feed in the homeless soup
But
kitchens.
you're talking about the location and the
It was just a
money,
clever
and
two birds,
Chandler
one
says,
stone
"Can you read that one
policy.
for us?"
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm fucking here
But
for
I'll
that.
be happy with money.
And you say maybe they'll transfer you in a couple years. Was there any discussion about that
So
during
in
that
law.
time?
Oh no. I immediately, you guys were like trying to cover up something controversial, and immediately I was
The
like,
job was in Florida.
I must find the controversial comment and read
That would
it.
take you to Florida as well?
Correct.
Was it your intention?
Thank
to
you for
move
looking after me,
to
Lilith.
Chandler?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
And on
I'm so sorry. I thought
May
it was funny as hell.
he sends you this message. What does it say?
I have a follow-up interview for Florida tomorrow.
And as that kind of approached, on the 25th now of May, you're saying, tell me, kind of in an exaggerated fashion, but just tell me what's going on.
Yes.
And what does Chandler say?
Shoot, sorry, I got the job.
And you say, congratulations. You have a discussion about the job in general, and eventually Chandler, the same day, the 25th, what does he say to you?
I have training next week over the computer, and I leave June 11th and start on June 14th.
This poor girl, yeah. I can't believe they're making her go through these.
You and Chandler discuss, perhaps, I think you said that you were going to move with him eventually, right?
It feels so
Was it gonna be
unethical.
Right away, or were you going to wait a couple weeks?
Wait a couple weeks.
And what does Chandler text you on the 25th?
I'll come back every other weekend, hon.
And what else?
And I can send you money till your lease is up and you move in with me.
The text messages that day end with Chandler sending you a couple messages. Can you read the first one?
If you're positive you want to be with me for the long run.
Was that in relation to you moving with him?
Yes.
And he says, what last?
Dude, what money exactly?
Because if you're not, then I don't think you should.
Did the topic of you and Chandler moving to Florida, is that like it's something you talked about a lot?
Yes.
Were you excited about that?
Yes.
Did you tell your family?
Yes.
Did you tell your friends?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case.
I would too.
Exhibit number 507. Can you tell me what that is?
A screenshot of the SpaceX location in Florida.
And was this taken off your phone?
Yes.
Why'd you take that screenshot?
I was curious about the location of the company.
Okay. What's exhibit number 508?
A screenshot from Zillow of homes in Titusville, Florida.
And it's a screenshot, but there's something else in that screenshot in the top right corner. What is that?
His web of lies got too thick.
How
His
does this
game
happen?
plan or
This
lack
is on your
thereof
phone, you
became
take the
untenable,
screenshot?
and he snapped.
Yes.
Yep,
Are you
absolutely.
FaceTiming it this time?
That's exactly what it
And are you
was.
looking up, what are you looking up there?
Homes for sale.
In Titusville, Florida?
Yes.
I'll show you it's been marked as exhibit 509. What's that?
A pool.
And was this another one of the homes you were looking up?
Yes.
When you took these screenshots, when you were FaceTiming with your boyfriend at the time, did you believe that you were possibly going to be moving to Florida and maybe buying a home or renting an apartment, things of that sort?
Oh, okay. Good night,
Fair to
Mothman's
say these
cousin.
homes you were looking up weren't cheap
Have
either.
a good night. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Did you think you'd be having some money available to you?
Yes.
All right, I'll move 507, 508, 509 into evidence.
Any objection? No. They are received. They may be published.
Just briefly.
Did he convince her to quit her
This is
job?
exhibit number 507. I just showed you. This is what we were talking about. And we said that you took a screenshot of just where SpaceX was.
Yes.
Okay. Did you know prior to Chandler talking about it that they had a location in Florida?
No.
Okay. Exhibit number 508. We're looking at a $699,000 home in Florida. And you're kind of on the phone with Chandler. And is this what a FaceTime looks like when you're kind of browsing other apps?
Hi, CV. How are
Yes.
you?
And so is that Chandler in the top right?
Yes.
Were you talking to him about this at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Now showing you exhibit 509. Here we're looking at a pool of another home. Is that Chandler in the top right?
Yes.
And same thing, you were talking to him about moving to Florida.
Yes.
What kind of conversations did you personally have? Not what other people said, but what were you telling your family, your mom, your brother about the plan?
Chandler would move down to Florida and start working, I would go at the end of August after my lease ended. And I celebrated my birthday in Madison. And Titusville isn't too far from where Disneyland is, and I was looking
Disney
at
World in
pharmacy
Florida.
schools in Florida.
Come on.
Did you
Who's
talk-
lying now?
Yes.
Was there any discussion of transportation or cars or things like that once you got down to Florida?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Chandler had a car lined up for when he got down there already, and I was going to drive my car down.
Did you ever invite your friends that were close to you and say, like, hey, you can come down and visit when we're down there?
Yes.
What kind of things did you talk to them about doing?
Going to Disneyland, Universal Studios, going fishing.
I think we saw in one of those prior texts that the SpaceX job was supposed to begin mid-June. Was that your understanding of the timing?
Yes. Sucks.
Around the time it was supposed to
My
start.
fan's
did something
cousin. That's
happen that
awful.
caused
I'm
the
sorry to
delay?
hear that.
Yes.
What happened?
Mitch went to the hospital.
Chandler's brother?
Mhm.
And he's testified and told everyone kind of about it. But in general, what was your understanding of what was going on?
His sugar levels were very high, and he had to be there for a couple days.
What did Chandler, did he tell you anything about whether that was going to delay SpaceX, or what the relationship between those two things are, Mitchell's illness and SpaceX?
He didn't want to leave while Mitch was ill.
Mitch was in the hospital for a couple days.
Yes.
At that point, did Chandler tell you, or did you know of any time he was supposed to now start SpaceX?
I don't remember.
Was it delayed?
Yes.
After Mitchell's hospitalization, did anything else happen that caused the delay in SpaceX?
I ended up going to the urgent care as well, and then Chandler fell.
Chandler was in the hospital.
Yes.
What did you know about Chandler falling?
He was running and slipped down the stairs, and then fell pretty hard and hit his head.
Did Chandler talk to you about his injury?
Yes.
What kind of symptoms was he reporting that he was feeling after that fall?
Tingles in his legs, sensitivity to light.
That would be really scary.
Severe headaches.
Hitting your head and having all this stuff
Weakness.
happen. I wonder if any of that was true. I
Was
I
Chandler
wonder
able
if
to
that was true.
Physically do normal things around that time?
No.
What do you mean by that?
I should start
He had a hard time
telling
lifting
super hot
things,
nurses that
and
I'm about to start
quite often would get
a
lightheaded.
job working for Musk. It apparently works. That's
Did
the
he carry
lesson
heavy
I'm
things from what you
learning.
observed or knew?
No.
They were together for 2
Did he
years,
drive long
weren't they?
distances, things of that sort?
No.
Was he able to travel?
No.
Why do you know that, or why do you say that?
Because of a head injury and wearing the neck brace.
I'm going to show you a couple exhibits marked 511. Can you tell me what 511 is?
Chandler in the emergency room.
Okay. And he's kind of got his hat over his head there.
Yes.
Who sent you? Did you see this photo eventually?
Yes.
How'd you get that photo?
It was sent to me.
Do you know who sent it to you?
I believe it was Chandler or his mother.
What's 512?
Chandler with Mr. Halderson and Mitch during the Father's Day brunch.
He's wearing the collar there.
Yes.
513, another photo of Chandler in the collar.
Yes.
All right, move 511, 12, and 13 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is, they are received. They may be published.
Thank you, Judge. Just so we're all looking at the same thing, you said this is a photograph that was sent to you, Chandler, in the hospital, 5/11? Correct?
Correct.
Sorry, we got to do it twice, kind of, that's how it works. 5/12, photograph of, that's Chandler on the left side, correct?
Correct.
And then in the middle, is that Mr. Halderson?
Correct.
And on the right,
It's so
is that
sad.
picture?
It's so sad.
That's, where is that photo taken? Do you know?
Golly.
In the living room by the kitchen.
In 5/13, another photograph of Chandler wearing that neck brace.
Correct.
What were you aware of in terms of like what
Seeing
the
pictures of his dad being psyched
What was
to
gonna happen
be
at
with
the end? What
him?
was going on?
That sucks.
He had a concussion.
That sucks so
light
hard.
Light sensitivity and tingling in his legs.
Was it going to get better?
I guess at this point I'm going to object. I need you to use the microphone.
I'll withdraw the question, the defense object. Did Chandler tell you if he was going to get better or the symptoms were improving around that time?
No.
Was there any discussion about how the concussion and the injury was going to affect SpaceX?
He wouldn't be able to travel down there.
Tell me about anything you remember about that type of discussion.
Can you be more specific, please?
Yeah. What did Chandler specifically tell you about why he couldn't travel?
Because he was wearing the neck brace and he had a concussion, so he shouldn't be flying.
Is that
Any
true?
questions
You're not
before
supposed to
about,
fly with a
the
concussion?
family
I
evidence
didn't
to
know
see?
that.
Did you ever see anything around Chandler's room, on his phone, any documents, records with the SpaceX or Tesla logo or anything like that?
No.
Talked a little bit about houses and things of that sort. Were you aware at any point if Chandler had rented an apartment?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
It was a 2-bedroom apartment, and he put a down payment for it. And there's a little dog park, so I could bring my dog Chewbacca down.
Did they ask him about it? I missed that question.
How did you know about this apartment?
Chandler sent me a link.
The pressure change in your body
Did
can
he
cause
tell
some
you
weird medical
whether he
things?
was just
Okay,
looking
good to
at it
know.
or if he had actually
I
rented
did not
it?
know that.
That he rented it.
Did you yourself see a lease of any sort?
No.
Did you ever sign a lease?
No.
Is your
Her
only
dog
connection with
Chewbacca
this
stuff?
apartment
Yeah.
is looking at the listing that was sent to you?
Correct.
It's all real. It's all so real. I mean, it is real.
We're gonna start
But like
talking
this
about
just it
events
serves as a
starting on
reminder
June
how
30th
real
and
this
kinda all the
is,
way through
hey?
July 8th at this point. And I think I'm going to let some of your messages guide our conversation, so I'm going to be walking back and forth quite a bit. But I'm going to show you what's been marked in this case is exhibit number 514. Just briefly, could you just page through that and tell us kind of what dates these text messages are from?
We have another bout of severe weather headed in around Wednesday. Maybe like last Monday with tornadic storms, but not sure until it actually gets here. Please be safe. I hope you have ample
on June
storm
30th?
shelter
June 30th of
and
2020,
supplies
right?
in case
Correct.
the electricity and stuff
And
goes
these are the
out.
messages between you and
Dixon,
Chandler?
Correct.
please
I'll
be
move 514
safe.
into evidence.
Oh, I'm gonna worry about ya. And please
I'll
come
bring
in
up the
on
same
Thursday and
objection
let
from
me
the
know that you're
sidebar, but otherwise,
okay.
no.
All right. And based upon the same ruling, they are received.
I hate
and
to ask
will be
too much of you.
I'm going to start showing them, and I'm going to ask for some context because we're picking up, obviously, in the middle of thousands of pages of messages, maybe. But the first message is a message from you. To be honest, it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly. What was this about on June 30th, 3:18 in the afternoon?
About him being grounded and not being able to see me or hang out.
What was your understanding at that time of what was going on from Chandler? What did he tell you? He was grounded?
Yes.
Were you wanting to see him?
Grounded at
Yes.
17.
And
Woof.
what did he tell you about whether he could see you or not?
He couldn't
Because of what?
because I wasn't allowed over.
You communicated with Krista a lot, right?
Yes.
When you say that, was Chandler telling you that, or did you actually hear that from Krista or Bart?
From Chandler.
And you say, it's getting to the point where I want to text your mom directly. And Chandler says, can you read that for me?
It's fine, B. That'll only piss them off more.
Oh, wait.
And what does he say?
This weekend will be great.
He was grounded
was the 4th of
20
July
in
weekend,
2020.
Correct.
How old is he now?
You say, now we're still June 30th. We're about 3:19 in the afternoon. You say, okay.
Oh, 2021.
And he says what?
Thanks, though.
Sadly know nothing of this
And
case
then on
and can
June
add nothing.
30th,
Zeppelin Zoso, my favorite band
send
too.
this message.
Hundo P. Good
What
to
does that
see you. How are you?
We're not going to the cabin, right?
So in the realm of messages, where the cabin, the first time the jury's seen that, how did this come up, or what was going on where you sent this message?
He's 27 or 28.
I was under the impression that Mr. and Mrs. Halderson were
Holy
going up to the cabin
shit.
for the 4th of July weekend.
Was that conversations or like
You
over the
can't be
phone, or
grounded
person
if you're
had to channel?
27. Just move
Over
out.
the phone.
And you ask, we're not going to the cabin, are we? What does Chandler say?
No.
You say, I can ask if we can go to the farm, right?
Correct.
And that ended up coming to fruition. You did that.
Yes.
Can you read that last message you sent?
That way we can say my mom can care for you since they have a lot of stuff here that they use for Mike and Papa.
Your mom and Cress testified. Who are Mike and Papa in general, and what did that mean that there was stuff there for them?
Mike is Cress's
Guessing
brother.
he wasn't financially
and
stable,
Papa is
independent
her
on his upper
father.
middle class parents. Exactly what's
Papa
happening.
is
Zeppelin
elderly.
Zoso.
He is over 90
spun a
years
web
of
of
age.
lies that
And,
came crashing down on him, and he
Mike
murdered his
is
parents.
wheelchair bound and needs help going to the restroom, and overall my mom helps take care of them.
What kind of stuff were you talking about that there was stuff there?
Walkers. If he needed one of those stools that you put over the toilet so an elderly person can sit down or they don't have to squat so low since it's hard for their knees.
Was it your impression that Chandler would be assisted by some of those things?
Who killed his family over at Canberra? I know exactly who you're talking about. That shit was so sad. And one of the brothers wasn't there, didn't live there anymore, right? And I know exactly who you're talking about. That case is so sad. Basketweave Stitch
Why did
Scarf.
you say that there was
Zeppelin
stuff there for
So-So.
So we'd be able to hang out since his mom was very concerned about his injury.
Excuse me.
The next day, Thursday, July 1st, you worked that day?
Can you repeat the date?
Sure, Thursday, July 1st, so before the 4th of July weekend.
Correct.
You have a normal job, normal type of hours, right?
Correct.
Weekdays.
Correct.
Hopefully just weekdays, right?
Someone
Showing you
committed
what's
murder
been
over
marked
at
as exhibit
Cam Girl.
number
Yeah, if you just Quinn, if you just
516.
Google
And I know it might be in a different form than usual.
Cam
but in general,
Girl
do you have an idea
family
what that
murder,
is?
you'll find the guy. I cannot remember the
Yes.
name.
What is that?
Should read the stream title. It's okay.
Snapchat
Nobody
messages.
ever
And
does.
who is it?
Like, no pressure. It's super fine.
Chandler.
And Chandler's, to the best you can, I know these are people make up names, but what was Chandler's Snapchat name?
Chazzle Dazzle.
Chazzle Dazzle. And significant parts of this
Chazzle
are
Dazzle is such a
redacted
cute,
out.
funny name.
In the course of sending Snapchats, sometimes you send just, in general, people are sending pictures back and forth, and part of what we've done in this,
I hate
in this
it.
case is just redact any photographs that we really thought we could.
when despicable people have
Kept one on though, just to prove
cute,
that's you, right?
funny, charming things going on.
Is 516 Snapchat messages between July 1st and July 7th between you and Chandler?
Correct.
Right, I'll move 516 into evidence.
Any objection?
Same objection as the text messages.
Same ruling that it is received, may be published.
I need you to tell us about Snapchat. I don't know what everyone's
Okay.
understanding is.
So I think before this, I think we're gonna call it here. I'm sorry that it was a little bit of a short stream today.
in general, what is
But it
Snapchat
is
is a
already
social
40
media
minutes
app
past
where
when
you
I
can-
normally end. We can pick up here tomorrow. I will not be able to tweet about it, so please follow the Discord. It's just discord.gg/fartslide. Just join that, please and thank you. It would help me out tremendously. And yeah, if you're not already following, follow here, subscribe on YouTube. So in 20 minutes, what? I'm so confused. Anyway, I'm gonna go. What's up? Hi, Kid 20. It's good to see you. How are you? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get going tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. Sorry, it's gonna be late tomorrow night. It's good to see you. I'm so sorry that you came in right at the end there. I would love it if you guys would be super active in Twitch chat so that we can send you over on a raid to somewhere fun. I will find somebody fun for you while I run commercials here. So everybody say what you would name the sheep that you take with you to Scotland or that you adopt in Scotland. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.